Okay, you recite for us Humpty Dumpty.
Oh. I don't know it.
You don't know it. Thank you very much. Humpty Dumpty.
I don't know it.
You don't know it too. I should give you another question. That one is our own question. I should give you your own question. Did you study French? You know French, but you know Yoruba very well. Kí ni okòólélẹ́gbẹ̀rún mẹ́wàá? Okay. Kí ni Yorùbá ń pè ní ọ̀kẹ́?
Owó, like owó ẹyọ. Okay, con like they use it for money, like cowrie.
Baba, you don't know ọ̀kẹ́. Ọ̀kẹ́. Tó bá ní wọ́n fún yàn ní ọ̀kẹ́ kan, that's 50. 50 olówó ẹyọ. Owó ẹyọ. Ṣé o tiẹ̀ mọ owó ẹyọ báwo ló ṣe rí? Ó dàbí kite. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. But we use it in learning some few things, refreshing our brain, especially àwọn nǹkan tá a ti ṣe láti primary school. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nínú wọn ò rántí. Tí n bá gbé microphone lọ béèyàn kan sìn kó ka iṣẹ́ lògùn iṣẹ́ kò ní lè ka dáadáa. Bọ̀ mí ní gbé microphone fẹ́ nìyẹn màá kàn nìkan ka díẹ̀ lẹ́yìn láì tàn bá rántí.
Iṣẹ́ ni ògùn iṣẹ́, múra síṣẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi, iṣẹ́ la fi ń dẹni gíga, bí a kò bá rẹ̀ ní fẹ̀yìntì, bí ọ̀lẹ là ń rí.
Ó ti tó mú mọ̀ pé mọ̀ sá ẹ̀yìn mọ̀ yẹn. Ṣẹ́rẹ́ ẹni tó wà ní ẹgbẹ́ yín, ẹni tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ yín, màá ní kán bá wa ka ilé, 1 ọ̀kan.
2 èjì, 3 ẹ̀ta, 4 ẹ̀rin, 5 àrún, 6 ẹ̀fà, 7 èjì, 8 ẹ̀jọ, 9 ẹ̀sán, 10 ẹ̀wá. Wọ́n ti ń pàtẹ́wọ́ lẹ́yìn.
Kò tí ì tán.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí n wúkọ́ sí ẹ.
Ṣé rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwa òbí ọgbọ́n la máa ń lò táwọn ọmọ bá dé tó bá gbé pẹ́sọ̀ tá a bá ti mọ̀ wá ní why is your teacher giving you this kind of assignment? Kò mọ́ ni o wá dọ́gbọ́n sí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ pé ọ̀n comrade náà láti comrade dáadáa ẹ má jẹ́ ń bi comrade ní béèrè bí wọ́n wá lọ bi comrade ní béèrè. Ta mo fẹ́ bí ń béèrè lè ẹ jẹ́ ń dúró lọ́dọ̀ mọ́ mi tó a'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim bismillahir rahmanir rahim ẹ dákun ẹ bá wa ka Fatiha.
a'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim bismillahir rahmanir rahim alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin arrahmanir rahim maliki yawmiddin iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين
سبحان ربك ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ máa gbà mí o mọ́mì ní mi fáwọn lẹ́bùn tó wọ́n ní wọ́n ń ṣàdúrà lásán ó yá gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ṣàmì owó àdúrà dà èmi ni mo máa sọ ẹ̀yin lẹ ṣàmì mọ́mì ṣe báwọn tó bá ṣàmì ló máa ń sanwó àdúrà gbogbo wa lẹ ṣàdúrà fún níbo náà ní kí n ti wá gbà ok ṣé owó àdúrà náà ní mú wá owó àdúrà mọ́mì mo sanwó àdúrà o àdúrà wa gbà o àdúrà wa gbà o àdúrà wa ti gbà o àdúrà wa ti gbà o ìgbà tá a wà school àbí gbàtà wà ń kékeré a máa ń lọ sí Sunday school. Mommy, are you a Christian? You are a Christian. Tá a bá ti lọ sí school gbàtà wà ń kékeré a máa ń lọ Sunday school. Wọ́n ní dáwó sílé Ọlọ́run owó ìrẹsì abárẹsì lọ óyá dáwó sílé Ọlọ́run. Kí lẹ sọ? Màá fún yín lákàá nọ́mbà mi. Óyá. Mi ò ní fóònù nọ́mbà yín báwo ni fẹ́ sẹ́ǹdì ẹ̀ sí. Naija a tètè máa ń jápa gan. Ok, wọ́n ti fẹ́ bail yín out. Thank you. Dáwó sílé Ọlọ́run owó ìrẹsì. Wọ́n ń gbó lọ́wọ́ kọ́mírèdì òpó èmi àgbàlẹ́ mi abárẹsì lọ. Ó yẹ ṣe transfer ẹ kúkú ní nọ́mbà mi. Óyá dáwó sílé. Ẹ bá mi kọ́ náà dáwó NIPR tó bá wà bí kó dá sí dáwó sílé Ọlọ́run owó 010 má jẹ́ kó bọ̀. Ladies and gentlemen, ẹ wo bí tó ká mi mọ́ wọ́n jẹ́ ń gbowó comment. Shall we rise to welcome Her Excellency the wife of the Governor of Ogun State is here with us this morning, our mother, our mommy. Thank you. Please, shall we all rise and remain standing as we take the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. State anthem, Ishaya, can we sing together? As we take our seats this morning, if you are indeed very grateful to God Almighty for the gift of life, put your hands together for yourself and sit comfortably. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, we were about doing offering when you came, but because we just finished our sermon, yes, we did sermon on World Environment Day, and I will just put the thing like this, so that when we finish, those who are entitled to this, we will see ourselves. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, love, they say, makes the world go round and round. However, without an environment, the existence of that love will be meaningless. And you will agree with me that every creature, living and non-living, have the capacity to occupy an environment. Hence, the cooperation, the unity, the synergy that ensure that we have productivity, impartation, and sustainability. Let me welcome you to year 2026 World Environment Day, put together by the Ministry of Environment and all other sister agencies. I want to say that the theme for this year is very apt and appropriate. Be inspired by nature for climate, for our future. We all know that without the past, that can never be the future. And that is the reason that the theme is apt and appropriate. Nature surely has its way of creating identity, recognition, and acceptability, and in turn has its influence on mankind and existence in general. We're indeed very glad to have with us as we celebrate this World Environment Day for year 2026, a woman that cares for nature, a mother that connects with nature, someone who has the milk of kindness flowing through her, and of course identifying with the immediate and the larger environment. The wife of the Governor of Ogun State and the First Lady of the Gateway State, Her Excellency Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun. A round of applause for her. Permit me to also welcome to this gathering our new head of service. He's beaming with smiles, and if you ask me why, Your Excellency, when we called out students that are here, pupils from his alma mater actually did him proud. He's a workaholic, and I like to just describe him as Mr. Environment for Ministry of Environment and working for the environment, Dr. Ola Oresoya. From the Federal Ministry of Environment, the minister is ably represented here today by the Director, Department of Climate Change, Federal Ministry of Environment, who in turn also have further representatives here today. And Mrs. Dolapo John Ahigbe is here to stand in. Thank you very much. And we also have accompanying him here, Principal Scientific Officer, Mr. Olalikon Wati. Thank you so much for joining us here. I'd like to say a very big thank you to the body of permanent secretaries in Ogun State, led by the chairperson of that body. This is one woman that when it comes to establishment and training, you'll always see her at the forefront. When it comes to synergizing with your environment, she's also equally competent. Mrs. Lydia Fajombo is here leading all other permanent secretaries that are here. But permit me to recognize in a very special way the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Environment, because this is their own program. She's a doctor, but her own doctor will put finesse into working in our environment, ensuring that they are clean. Where we have the refuse dumps, we do something to clear them. And when it comes to environment and climate change, she's also there to provide what we call the nature and the information. Dr. Kafet Lawal, a round of applause for her. The state chairman, National Environmental Society, Ogun State, I think I'm right, Chief Jamiu Badmos, we're indeed very happy that we have you with us here today. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, our lead paper presenter, all the way from the Federal University of Agriculture, FUNAB, Abeokuta, someone that's a professor of environmental management and bioremediation from FUNAB, Professor B.S. Bada. Thank you so much for joining us. All of the directors that are in the sister agencies of the Ministry of Environment, Ogun State, we salute you and we thank you for providing that synergy. Thank you very, very much indeed. The directors from the Ministry of Environment, from OGEPA, and for Oguma, we say we love you. Please, can we put our hands together for them all? I'd also like to recognize the presence of the Special Assistant on Environment, that's in person of Mr. Oyeniyi Owolana. Thank you so much for joining us. Egbe Oloja, àbí wọn wá ní? Egbe Oloja, ẹ jẹ́ orílẹ̀ màmá wa wà ń jókòó, ẹ jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé ẹ̀yin obìnrin yẹn wà ń bì. Egbe Oloja, ibi tá a ti ń tajà yẹn, àwọn olóyìnbó ń pè ní environment kan, àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ni, ibi tá a ti ń tajà yẹn agbègbè kan ni. Bí a bá dẹ̀ ṣe káràmásìkí agbègbè yẹn, òun náà ló máa jẹ́ kí ìlera wa kó jí pépé sí i. Torí náà mú kí ẹ fúnra yín látẹ̀wọ́ ibi tẹ́ wà. Màmá wa olóyè arábìnrin Àbẹ̀kẹ́ Olóyèdé, ẹ ṣeun lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìyálọ́jà, ẹ ṣé o, àti gbogbo àwọn ìyálọ́jà pátápátá tí wọ́n wà ní ibí, adúpẹ́ gidigidi lọ́wọ́ yín. Pupils from various schools that are here, we equally acknowledge your presence. If you are a pupil of any school, primary, secondary, higher institution, and you are here, please a resounding applause for yourself wherever you are seated. Therefore, when we have a gathering like this, safety is key. Safety is important. And to just give us some few safety tips before we set sail on today's environment, I will be inviting one of the officers from the Ministry of Environment to please step forward and give us the safety kit as we prepare to have the event here today. The officer from the Ministry of Environment, please, for the safety tip. All right. Can we have him? Please, a round of applause for him as he's stepping forward. Thank you very much indeed. Safety is key. In case we need any emergency, in case we want to map out how we file out, how we move out, and what are the necessary things that we need, he will be supplying us. Thank you.
Thank you. The First Lady, Ogun State, the Honorable Commissioner, the Head of Service, the Principal, the Permanent Secretaries, and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Engineer Dikbo Adekoya. We are all here for the World Environment Day. Safety moment. As we are here, we don't pray for any casualty to be among us if anything happens. But what do we need to do if you hear any noise or any strange things happening around you? Please and please, do not panic. Remain where you are. We will direct you on how to go out slowly and gently. By the time we are going out, for those of you who are right at the back, you will use the access you use in coming in. Then for those of you on the left-hand side here to the front, you will use this one, and then we will all proceed. Sorry, for those on my right-hand side or this side, you will use that exit door, and then we walk briskly to the car park. That is where we will assemble. However, this is a program that we want to all understand ourselves. We have this naughty item always with us, the telephone. Please, if your own is with you at this moment, put them on silence mode. We don't want to get distracted. We don't want the next person beside you to get distracted. Please and please, put them in silence mode or vibration. Then, if you need to use the convenience for you to ease yourself, to answer the nature's call, just walk to the center of the aisle and then walk to the back. On the left and right towards the external door, you will see the restrooms for both gents and ladies. Let us utilize it and walk back to our seat. Do not disturb anybody. What I'm going to me pọ̀ jù, ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ Yorùbá tó rọ́mọ Ìjẹ̀bú lèmi náà, ọmọ Ògùn State lèmi náà. So, bá ṣe wà nínú bí bá ṣe ń gbádùn ara wa yìí a fẹ́ kí nǹkan kan kó dààmú wa ṣùgbọ́n tí ariwo kan bá wà níbì kan tàbí ìdààmú kan wà níbì kan ẹ jẹ́ ká jókòó jẹ́jẹ́ kẹ́ fara wa balẹ̀ tó bá tó àsìkò à á sọ bẹ́ ṣe máa dìde tẹ́mátò níwọ̀rọ̀wọ̀sí lọ sí ibi tí a pààkì àwọn ọkọ̀ wa sí ẹ má jẹ́ ká kánjú ẹ má jẹ́ ká sáré ká má ṣubú then pẹ̀lú aago tó wà lọ́wọ́ wa yìí ẹ jẹ́ ká yí ohun ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ kó má fi tiẹ̀ kó má kó bá gbogbo bá ṣe ń ṣe ètò wa lọ ká lè má bá lọ ní wọ̀túnwọ̀sì kó má sí ìdààmú mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín mo dúpẹ́ fún àsìkò yìí tẹ́ bá fẹ́ lọ sí ibi tẹ́ ti fẹ́ fún sáré tàbí ẹ fẹ́ tọ̀ ó wà ní ọwọ́ ẹ̀yìn tẹ́ bá ti rìn jáde ní ọwọ́ ọ̀tún àti ọwọ́ òsì ní méjèèjì wà fún ọkùnrin àti obìnrin ìwọ tí o bá jẹ́ obìnrin má wọ ibi títọ́ ọkùnrin wà o ìwọ tó bá jẹ́ ọkùnrin má wọ ibi títọ́ obìnrin wà o ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́.
Thank you very much, sir, for providing that safety guide for event like this. Your Excellency, ma, I tried to look at you while walking in. Mi fẹ́ sọ sókè ni o torí má lọ jẹ́ pé olú ẹ̀ máa bọ́ sí. And I saw that the color you chose, very appropriate. Looking at your headgear, that's what we call, is it mint or silt or teal? You know, we have a way of giving colors in Nigeria. We have tilt green, we have silt green, we have lemon green, we have dark green, we have light green. Which other green do we have? We have the burnt green, Abi. We have the gray green and we have the green green. And we have the national green. So I don't know which one to call this your headgear. Maybe it's the national green, but permit me to just say is the all right. That's the perfect green. Thank you very much. This is appropriate. This is to show to us that she is identifying with the environment. She has a link with nature. And because she's dreaming about the future, the destiny of our younger generation that will take after us. Your Excellency, thank you very much one more time. Please, a round of applause for her. At this point, Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me invite the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Environment to warmly and officially welcome us to the World Environment Day celebration year 2026 here in the Gateway State. Dr. Kafayat Lawal, a round of applause for her, please.
The First Lady of the state, Her Excellency, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, the Head of Service, Alaji Olaniwaju Iskil Saka, my Honorable Commissioner, Dr. Ola Oresanya, the Chairman of the Body of Permanent Secretaries, Mrs. Lydia Fajombo, the representative of the Minister from Federal Ministry of Environment, Mrs. Dolapo, other permanent secretaries here present, the representative of the environment nurse, ladies and gentlemen, I want to stand on existing protocol. It is my pleasure to warmly welcome Your Excellency, Ma, the distinguished guests, stakeholders, development partners, students, and all participants to the 2026 World Environment Day celebration. Today, we join the global community in commemorating World Environment Day under the theme, Inspired by the Nature, for Climate and for our Future. This theme reminds us of the critical role nature plays in addressing climate change and securing a sustainable future for the generation to come. As environmental challenges continue to grow, we must work together to protect our ecosystems, promote sustainable practices, and build climate resilience. The Ministry of Environment remains committed to advancing policies and programs that support environmental sustainability and improve the quality of life of our people. I sincerely appreciate the support of His Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, CFO, our development partners, my Honorable Commissioner for Environment, Dr. Olaore Sanya, and all other stakeholders who continue to contribute to environmental protection and climate action. I encourage us all to use the occasion to renew our commitment to safeguard our environment and create a greener and healthier future. Once again, I welcome you all and wish you a successful and impactful celebration. Thank you. God bless Ogun State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Omo Ogun Isheya.
Please, a round of applause for the Permanent Secretary one more time. I'm sure you are wondering, what do I want to do? The land is green. How many of you remember that song? The land is green, oh. I think I'll need to get to the studio to do one for Her Excellency. Now, for the students who won my questions, you've collected some gifts, but we want you to identify with nature. Honorable Commissioner, sir, not only with good enough, some collected green notes, some collected powder blue notes, but since it is World Environment Day, it has to be green. So if you won my questions and you are here, quickly, file out quickly. We want to do this in 120 seconds. Winners of my questions. Quickly. I want to give you this t-shirt, one. Have you won Otimo? I want to back questions me correctly. Okay, come up. Take yours. This is yours. Oh, my DJ, I can feel you. Any other? Any other? Quickly. Spread out. So I embrace it, spread out. Now let's spread our t-shirts because we are going to dance with it. Look at me. Oh yeah, let's go. The Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me. Thank you. Bring it down. Your Excellency, my head of service, Honorable Commissioner, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want my junior. One Tijuni, Timbani can play only consing, Emariton Maturaka. You know that popular song. You are going to dance with it, with your t-shirt. And if you don't dance, I will collect my money. Shall we go? In 60 seconds, DJ, that song, Hold It. You are not dancing. All right, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. One more. You know that one, Buga song. Let's see how they are going to Buga with their t-shirts. Can you give us Buga? And let's see how they Buga with this green t-shirt. If you don't dance very well, I will collect my t-shirt, I will collect my money. Let's go.
Don't sleep, wake up. Cause I don't want to. Wake up, cause I don't want to. Wake up.
Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Back to your seats. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Now, the person who can give us the loudest clap, you have this t-shirt. The loudest. The loudest. And I mean the loudest. And watch, you know. Okay, this is the winner. Receive it. Thank you very much. I met with a young lady this morning and I interviewed her. I don't know if she's still in this hall. I want to give her this green t-shirt as a souvenir to take back home so that she will remember. Where is she? She's not. Where is she? Where is she? Are you the one? No. Who? Where is she? Take. Thank you very much. That's your souvenir. It's World Environment Day, and let me give you. Ẹ jẹ́ n ṣe òfófó kan fún yín. Ṣé kí n ṣe? Ṣé n ṣe òfófó? Ẹ rántí orin yẹn. Ẹ má wẹ̀yìn o, wẹ̀yìn wẹ̀. Ẹ má ṣe òfófó. Òfófó kò dára. All of you, take a t-shirt. I will see you at the end of the program. Wọ́n ní kì í ṣe fún everybody o torí mo fẹ́ wò ọmọ tó túra ká nu gbogbo ọ̀dà. Come. Where is he? Where is he? He has gone to eat. Listen. Hello. Can I have your attention? Hello. Shh. Okay. You know, we have various ways of learning. There are those who will learn and assimilate when they dance. For others, it is when they listen to music. For some, it's when they play the drums. But ayé ìgbà kan la máa ń sọ pé ìwọ òǹjó àìmọye àwọn professional dancers that are in foreign land, international land now. Years ago, when you play football, wọ́n á mú ẹgba, wọ́n á nà ọmọ yẹn pò. But ìgbà tó di pé wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lọ play international, gbogbo òbí ló sọ pé you too go and play. Maybe you are going to play for Arsenal. All Gunners, congratulations, all Gunners in the house. After 22 years, Ọlọ́run gbàdúrà wa àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́, I am now a Gunner. Although I still remain blues forever o. Ìgbà tí mo ní kọ́ jó lẹ́ẹ̀kan, gbogbo wọ́n form. Bọ̀bọ̀ yìí kò tiẹ̀ form, kò tiẹ̀ wojú High Excellency, kò wojú Head of Service, kò wojú Commissioner. Ó túraká, wo fún mi lórí ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kan yìí, ó túraká. Thank you. Ọmọ yóò fi para. Kò fi para. Ọlọ́run ló mọjọ́ tí ire èèyàn máa dé. Bó ṣe jó ní eré tán wá. Wo Excellency ní kí n fún ẹ ní envelope yìí. Èmi ò mọ nǹkan tó wà ń bẹ ọ̀bọ̀ ó lè yọjú wò. O like nǹkan tó wà náà ẹ̀. Okay. Wait now before you start clapping. Ṣé o mọ̀ pé mi mo pè é jáde? Àbí now? Ṣé tí mi ò bá pè é jáde ṣó lè jó wájú Excellency ni? Mo ń ṣeré ni o, mo ń ṣeré ni wọ́n ló ní gbogbo ẹ̀. Máa mú lọ. Please let's give him a round of applause. Ṣó tó ya picture ní pẹ̀lú Excellency? Wá wọ́n ní kò tí ì tán, wọ́n ní kò tí ì tán. Wọ́n ní kò tí ì tán o. Níbo òkè ń bí ni ká ti jẹ́ kó ya picture gòkè pẹ̀lú Excellency. Àsìkò ẹ ló dé, àsìkò ẹ ló dé, àsìkò ẹ ló dé, ya picture pẹ̀lú Excellency. Ya picture pẹ̀lú Excellency. Ya picture. Ṣé o ti yàtọ̀? Pose o pose. Màá ní kọ́ bá ń glace ẹ̀, màá gbé wá sí tie-dog. Wàá gbé kọ́ sórí ògiri. Abẹ́ẹ̀ rí nǹkan. Abẹ́ẹ̀ rí nǹkan o. Ẹsẹ̀. Wá báyìí ti lọ. Ẹsẹ̀ ní kí n fi kú fún ẹ. Ẹsẹ̀ ní kí n fi kú fún ẹ. A round of applause, a round of applause. A round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, DJ. Tó bá jẹ́ kí n bínú màá gbé microphone lẹ̀ o. Your Excellency ma, thank you so much for encouraging these young ones. Please, a round of applause for her. We want to take testimonials now, but Your Excellency ma, láti yí ọdún èyí tí mo ti ń sọ̀rọ̀, pè mí náà jáde pé kí n ya picture pẹ̀lú yín. Èmi World Environment Day, èmi náà máa ya picture pẹ̀lú Excellency. Ó yá, ẹ wá bá mi ya ilé pẹ̀lú Excellency torí máa pose ni, máa pose. Ya, má worry. Excellency mọ̀ mí pé mi náà ni máa ń di microphone mú. Ya pé mo di microphone mú. Thank you very much. Ó kù kan sí o máa ṣé kí wọ́n. Thank you very much. God bless you ma. Thank you ma. Ó dẹ̀ fẹ́ pa ski mẹ́mi náà lára. Thank you ma. You know, when we celebrate like this, we need to catch some fun and we need to also relax because that is what nature is all about. My prof, am I right? I'm getting it. Thank you very much. At this point, Your Excellency ma, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will be inviting for the testimonies here today. The Environmental Sustainability Communications Company and the deal with the Eco Network for Sustainability Foundation. I welcome to the microphone Ayoluwa Folakumi Ogunshola. Please, a round of applause as he steps forward. You have just 120 seconds to do justice to this. Thank you.
Excellency, the wife of the Governor of Ogun State, Head of Service, Permanent Secretaries, Directors, the SC on Environment, I stand on all existing protocols, I would like to thank again the wife of the governor for inspiring hope in these young children. Please, a round of applause for Excellency. Inspired by nature for climate and for our future. This is an embodiment of who I am and what the good people of Ogun State represent. My name is Ayoluwa Folakumi Ogunshola, and for the past 7 years I schooled in Ogun State, graduated at National University of Education, graduated with a first class in Geography and Environmental Management. Over the years, I have co-authored for the United Nations a toolkit on youth engagement. I've been a panelist at the G20 Youth Summit. I am the founder of the African Climate Change Movement with a network spanning 22 countries in Africa. And all this, I don't say it to impress you. I say it to inspire every young child here. I started my environmental advocacy journey when I was 17 years old, somewhere in Ijebu-Ode in Ogun State. And my lecturer had just told me about climate change. And I got confused. I said to myself, I'm going to find out about this. I started reading all the books I could find, and I realized that this was a very serious problem. And it doesn't seem to be a conversation that anybody talks about, and this was 2017. So what I did was, I started reading all the books in the library. I stopped my basketball practice because I'm 6'6". And then I watched all the YouTube videos I could get. At this point, everybody will call me a nerd, right? You stopped basketball practice, you were the cool kid in school, and somehow you're now in the library. But what this transitioned into was state-level engagements that transferred into international collaboration for me. And I would like to also congratulate and appreciate the government of Ogun State for giving the opportunity for young people to have, collaborate with them. When we started our organization, we were very scared. Okay, so how do we go around this? So what do we do? And obviously what I started doing was writing letters. And anytime I go there, I would always see someone that would come. They would talk to me and say, young man, what do you want? This tall boy, what do you want? And so we started up collaborations with the Ministry of Environment. Some of these schools today, TIDOB, Baptist Boys High School, we started collaborating, and we were able to work with the government of Ogun State to educate young children on climate change, on environmental education, and this has grown to be a big movement even to campuses like TASWED and FUNAP. So a round of applause once again for the good governance in Ogun State's Ministry of Environment. I would also like to thank the Permanent Secretary and the Commissioner for Environment for I've read some of the Ogun State plans, and the transition into net zero. I can already even see some clean energy stoves. And so this shows proactive actions towards your plan, and I would like to encourage you and thank you very much for the work that you do. Finally, I'm going to talk to the young people because I had the whole speech written out. You see what you have here? This is a phone. Young man, you've put yourself forward, you've danced, you've put your skill set forward. What you can do now is to put yourself out here. You have the opportunity, when some of our elders come, they are going to tell you about how difficult it was to get on this stage. Personally, I have over 15,000 followers on Instagram, and how I'm able to get all of this is because I used my phone. So I would like to encourage you, make use of this phone. Communicate, tell the world about your ideas. Somebody out there is willing to fund you. And if you just do it the right way, if you communicate and respect your elders and you show what you have, bring it forward, they'll be there to listen to you. Thank you very much.
Good message. Yes, this thing can make you or mar you. If you use it effectively, it will give you what we call that leverage. But if it is about chatting, taking pictures, and TikTok, creating content that will not bring you influence, definitely people will not know you. But when you use it effectively, then it will be to your advantage. Well, I am an ambassador of the environment, and I do it through my professional Calling, that's the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. And in case you're thinking I'm joking, go watch our page. Only Saturday, we had an encounter with nature. We related with nature as we unwound through the coastal retreat at the Waves Beach, Elegushi, in Lagos Beach. That's one way of connecting with nature. When you see the waves of the water coming, it's so lovely. When you take the sound, very smooth. And when you sit in an ambience of a wonderful environment, you can reflect, you can write your script, and indeed hold the microphone and speak fluently. Exactly what I'm doing here today. A round of applause for the Minister of Environment one more time for this opportunity. We go straight to our goodwill messages today. And the first person that will blaze this trail for us is no other than the Ogun State Chairman of the National Environmental Society, Chief Jamiu Badmus. Please, a round of applause for him as he has the next 180 seconds for a goodwill message. And your time starts now, sir. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I want to, because of the time, I want to enter through what the MC of this occasion has established by saying, when we are in the university, I'm a powerful comrade. I was a comrade, and once a comrade is always a comrade. So that's why I say I'm a comrade. We have a song that we normally shout. We say, gbogbo wa la lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ, gbogbo wa la lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ, bẹ́ẹ̀ fárọ́mẹ́ǹtì wa ṣe dà yìí, gbogbo wa la lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ, gbogbo wa la lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ, gbogbo wa la lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ, bẹ́ẹ̀ fárọ́mẹ́ǹtì wa ṣe dà yìí, gbogbo wa la lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ, regulator lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ, consultant lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ, investitor lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ, bẹ́ẹ̀ fárọ́mẹ́ǹtì wa ṣe dà yìí, gbogbo wa la lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ. I want to, on that note, I want to welcome Her Excellency, the first woman and the first lady of Ogun State, Her Excellency, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun. Last year we were together at Olowo Palace, and you are seeing here today, sound and healthy. May Almighty God continue to keep you fit and fine always. You are mostly welcome. The head of service of Ogun State, our brand new Tiaroba, just like the MC have said, so you are mostly welcome. And my Oga, the Honorable Commissioner, the Commissioner Emeritus, you are mostly welcome. And I thank you, I can thank you enough for this today. Because last year what we did was on plastic, beating the plastic, and the impact of the program. So all the permanent secretary are present, the directors of Ministry of Environment, all the directors and everybody that are present, the students of Williams Secondary School, I gladly welcome you to this occasion of World Environment Day. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Nigeria Environmental Society, I'm delighted to extend our goodwill message on this occasion, theme, inspired by nature, our future climate change. Nature remains our greatest teacher and ally in the fight against climate change. The increasing impact of environmental degradation, biodiversity loss, and extreme weather events remind us that the future of humanity is inseparable from the quality of our environment. As we reflect on this important theme, this year theme, I urge every individual, organization, and community here present to embrace sustainable practice, support climate action initiative, and contribute to environmental conservation. Let us be inspired by nature resilience and work collectively to build a greener, healthier, and more sustainable future for generations yet unborn. The Nigeria Environmental Society Abeokuta chapter remain committed to promoting environmental stewardship and climate resilience through advocacy, education, and community engagement. Together we can protect our environment and secure our future. Happy World Environment Day. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. We're indeed very grateful for honoring us with your presence. Next, permit me to invite the representative of the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture in our dear state, Honorable Bolu Owutomo, ably represented here today by the Director of Veterinary Services, Dr. Taiwo Jola-Osho. A round of applause for Dr. Jola-Osho, please.
Thank you. The First Lady of Ogun State, Her Excellency Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, our Head of Service, Alhaji Olariwaju Iskil Saka, the Honorable Commissioner for Environment, Elder Dr. Ola Oresoya, all permanent secretaries here present, all directors here present, distinguished participants, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to represent the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Honorable Bolu Owutomo, who would have loved to be here, but for another special important engagement, he has sent me to read his goodwill, and I'll read it now. The speech of Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Honorable Bolu Owutomo, on the commemoration of World Environment Day, today 9 June 2026, held at June 12, Cultural Center, Kuto. It is my great pleasure to join the global community in commemorating World Environment Day with the theme Inspired by Nature for Climate for Future. A day set aside to raise awareness and inspire action towards protecting our environment for present and future generations. This year's celebrations remind us that environmental sustainability is not a choice, but a necessity. The health of our environment directly influences our ability to produce food, sustain livelihood, and ensure the well-being of our people. As a ministry charged with the responsibility of ensuring food security, we recognize that agriculture and environment are inseparable partners. Agriculture depends on healthy soils, clean water, stable climate, and rich biodiversity. However, environmental degradation, climate change, deforestation, pollution, and unsustainable land use practices continue to threaten agricultural productivity and food systems across the world. These challenges require urgent and collective action. The Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security remains committed to promoting climate-smart agriculture, sustainable land management, responsible use of chemicals, efficient water conservation practices, and environmental stewardship among farmers and stakeholders. We encourage practices as agroforestry, rainwater harvesting, soil conservation, integrated pest management, and adoption of environmentally friendly technologies that increase productivity while protecting natural resources. The Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security will continue to collaborate with relevant agencies and stakeholders to promote sustainable agriculture, environmental conservation, and food systems that are resilient, inclusive, and sustainable. As we commemorate World Environment Day, I call on all stakeholders, farmers, extension workers, researchers, development partners, private sector actors, youth groups, and community leaders to embrace sustainable practices that preserve our environment and strengthen our food system. We must also recognize the critical role of tree planting, water reduction, pollution control, and biodiversity conservation in safeguarding our future. Every individual has a role to play in protecting the environment. Small actions taken consistently can produce significant possible impacts over time. The future of agriculture depends on the future of our environment. Therefore, let us work together to build resilient agricultural systems that can withstand the challenges of climate change while ensuring food security for all. The Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is committed to policies and programs that promote environmental sustainability, agricultural development, and prosperity of our citizens. Together, let us protect our environment, secure our food system, and build a sustainable future for generations to come. Happy World Environment Day. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, sir. Gbogbo fíntín tá à ń sọ yìí, ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ oòjíire la wà. Ó dẹ̀ di dandan yín pé àwọn èèyàn wa a ní láti mọ bá a ṣe máa bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ tó máa yéra wa. Orin ilé mi fẹ́ fi gbáǹdì, ìyàwó tá a bá mọ̀ àjọ máa kọ́. Ìmọ́tótó ló lè ṣẹ́gun àrùn gbogbo. Ìmọ́tótó ló lè ṣẹ́gun àrùn gbogbo. Ìmọ́tótó ilé, ìmọ́tótó ìmọ́tótó ló lè ṣẹ́gun àrùn gbogbo. Ṣé rí èdè wa nígbà míì ó ní bá a ṣe máa ń sọ tó máa fi ń yéra wa. Èdè Ìgbò dáa o, Your Excellency, Ìgbò dáa. Mo máa ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ò mọ̀ yunifásitì kan náà lèmi àti Excellency jọ lọ, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ní ò mọ̀. In fact, the same hall lájọ wà ní yíyà yẹn, the same hall lájọ wà. Ní hall wa, àwa mẹ́rin la wà nínú room wa. Èmi máa ń sùn lókè, Excellency máa ń sùn sálẹ̀. Tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìmọ́tótó, oríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà là ń gbà á wò. Àwa ìyálọ́jà a ní ipa tá à ń kó nínú ìmọ́tótó yìí. Torí gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe sọ, agbègbè kan la wà táwọn olóyìnbó ń pè ní environment kan la wà tá a ti ń tajà wa. Ẹ jẹ́ kí Ìyálóde General fún Ẹ̀gbá káàbọ̀ láti fún wa ní ọ̀rọ̀ ìwúrí fún ìṣẹ́jú méjì. Ìyálóde Ẹ̀gbá, ìyálọ́jà Ẹ̀gbá, ṣe rí tẹ́yàn bá ti ń ṣeré jù á máa pe ha ní ha. Ìyálọ́jà Ẹ̀gbá, olóyè arábìnrin Àbẹ̀kẹ́ Olóyèdé, ẹ bá fún ọ látẹ̀wọ́ bí wọ́n ṣe ń bọ̀.
ẹ ṣe ẹ ní sùúrù
ẹ ṣe. mo kí excellency wa our first lady of Ogun State #1 mo gbé fún yín ma. mo kí commissioner wa ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ni máa ń pè wọ́n commissioner for environment bàbá wa Ọ̀rẹ́sànyà ẹkú sẹ́ẹ̀lù ẹkú kó lè ta tẹ̀ ń bá kiri ẹ jẹ́ bá mi wá Farouk o bolówó o ṣé Farouk o sì ń bí mi òun lọ́lọ́pàá múnimúni tó mú wa kiri o ẹ bá ń pè sí bítòsí o ṣẹ́rí MC wa ó jí orin tí mo fẹ́ kọ ó jí torí orin ìmọ́tótó yẹn ni mo kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ kọ mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin kọmíṣánná ẹ̀yin PS ẹ̀yin ẹ̀sẹ̀ mo kí gbogbo yín o a kú ètò ẹ̀mí lágbára Ọlọ́run ayé wa ò ní dọ̀tí ṣe rí ìmọ́tótó ó ṣe kókó o látara first lady láti kọ tẹ bá rí first lady wa ẹ̀ rí wípé always neat ni wọ́n máa ń dúró gírí ni aṣọ wọn ò dọ̀tí rí wọ́n máa ti first lady ò wá dọ̀tí ṣáwa ọlọ́jà la máa wá dọ̀tí báwo la ṣe fẹ́ ṣe é ìmọ́tótó bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti inú ilé wa a gbọ́dọ̀ máa wẹ̀ lóòrèkóòrè pàápàá àwa ọlọ́jà ẹ̀ẹ̀mejì ni torí pé a ti fara gbogbo nǹkan láàárín ọjọ́ a dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ fomi ṣanra ká tó lọ sùn ẹni tó bá fomi ṣanra ó mọ̀ pé ara wọn máa balẹ̀ gbogbo ọjà wa kọmíṣánná kì í ṣe pé mo fi ń pọ́nra wa lé o excellent ni wa o àdọ̀tí lọ́jà rárá a dẹ̀ ń gbọ́ sí yín lẹ́nu in fact ẹ̀yin ni first commissioner tí a bá ṣe táwùjà ẹ̀yin ni the first commissioner táwùjà a máa ń lẹ̀kọ̀ mọ́ra wa kiri ní o àwọn commissioner tó ti máa ń wá tẹ́lẹ̀ fún environment ṣé mo kúrò yìí yà lọ́jà a máa ń lẹ̀kọ̀ mọ́ra wa kiri pé kí ló dé sọ́run yín sáyé wa ni ẹ fi wá sílẹ̀ náà ẹ dẹ̀ ń dá wa láàmú ká má gbèlé yìí síbí ká má gbè tọ̀hún síbí kí ló dé kí la ṣe fún yín kí la ra nù bá yín àmọ́ ṣùgbọ́n ṣá kọmíṣánná wa yìí ọmọ ìyá lọ́jà ni wọ́n mọ ọlọ́jà àtú tó pọ̀ wọ́n mọ ọlọ́jà àtú tó jẹ́ pé ìgbà míì sì máa pè wọ́n tí bá fẹ́ bí lórí fóònù wọ́n á mú mi wálẹ̀ wọ́n á ní ìyá lọ́jà kì í ṣe pé a bá ń jà àṣà nìní kẹ́ ẹ má tajà a ní a ò fẹ́ dọ̀tí fáǹfààní ara wa dẹ̀ ní. ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́jà ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́jà ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́jà a ní ṣéèkì lágbára Ọlọ́run ìmọ́tótó ṣe kókó ó ń jẹ́ kí atẹ́gùn àlàáfíà pàápàá ó fẹ́ sí wa atẹ́gùn àlàáfíà á fẹ́ sí wa ẹni tó fẹ́ rajà lọ́wọ́ wa gan tó bá rí bá a ṣe wà ẹ̀yin ìyálọ́jà ẹ̀ tiẹ̀ dìde náà kí commissioner àti first lady kan rí yín ṣe é rí pé tónítóní ni wọ́n wà àwọn ò kì í ṣe ọlọ́jà àdọ̀tí rárá commissioner wa ló dẹ̀ tírẹ̀nì wa débẹ̀ Ọ̀rẹ́sànyà ní o ọlọ́tírẹ̀nì wa débẹ̀ ni mo ṣe ń wá Farouk yọ blálà ni ó yọ blálà tiwa ni kò sí ẹ̀mọ̀ pamọ́bì kan náà jọ ni wá èmi náà máa wá fún Dàmánì wọ̀kẹ̀ àjọ máa kẹ̀kẹ́ báyìí ní kí ló dé torí náà a kú àjọ̀dún èmi Ọlọ́run ò ní ṣe lópin fún wa a kú ọjọ́ àjọ̀dún environment day àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn olóyìnbó wí environment day ẹ̀mí aṣọ́pọ̀ ẹ̀ bàbá wa Ọ̀rẹ́sànyà lágbára Ọlọ́run ilé òní ìjókòó fún yín o Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń bá yín ṣiṣẹ́ àwọn ọkọ̀ yín gbogbo wọn náà lè fi ìwà rẹ̀ lè fi tọ́ lè fi kọ́ wọn torí tá a bá ti fẹ́ jà àwọn náà máa ń bara lẹ̀ fún wa a máa da gbogbo ẹ̀rù ní ìsinyìí o akúkú la arú gbogbo lẹ̀ a dà sí títì wọn ẹ bá máa ṣe fún wa ká ẹ ṣe kárí ṣé àwọn pa nǹkan ra wa náà ni nígbà tá a bá múlẹ̀ tá a bá dà sójú títì ta ló máa jìyà bẹ̀ ojú títì kọ́ ni gómìnà kọ́lé sí ibẹ̀ kọ́ ni first lady ń gbé ibẹ̀ kọ́ l'Ọ̀rẹ́sànyà ń gbé àwa náà la máa jó oorun yẹn ìyẹn la ṣe wò wípé wọ́n tọ́ wa sọ́nà tó dáa àwa náà tẹ̀ dúró lórí ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá lọ káàkiri ẹ rí pé gbogbo ọjà wa kò síbi tí ìdọ̀tí wà ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀bẹ̀ kan mo fẹ́ bẹ̀ yín kí ẹ bá wa sọ fún gọ́vùnà ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ dá environmental sanitation Saturday ẹ jẹ́ kó dá padà torí pé community ìdọ̀tí pọ̀ ní community o gbogbo àwọn ọdún tó ẹlẹ́yìn gbé wá bá wà lọ́jà yẹn ará ọjà ní kọ́kọ́ ló ń lò wọ́n máa mú nínú káàtó dúró gidi SUV gan wọ́n á tún gbé ilẹ̀ láti inú ẹ̀ wọ́n á gbé sínú kíní ilé ilẹ̀ ìgbà bá dẹ̀dẹ̀ àwàlẹ̀ máa bá wí gbogbo community ẹjọ́ ẹ bá wa ṣe meeting kí mọ́tò náà tún pọ̀ sí mọ́tò tó ń kólẹ̀ ò tó sá o your excellency ma mọ́tò tó ń kólẹ̀ kò tó lógùn state fúrífúrí ni ẹ kò máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀ bá rí dáńgàrí akọni ìsìn ó ti lè tọ̀tún lákẹ́tù tó rí mi mọ́tò yẹn ò tó láti kólẹ̀ then àwọn kí ló ṣe ń pa àwọn wọléwọlé táwíjí yànmùyànmú ẹgbà yan sí ẹgbà àwọn èèyàn sínú iṣẹ́ wọléwọlé ẹgbà yan sí wọn ò tó àwọn ọba àwọn tó wà iṣẹ́ pa wọn lórí tí wọ́n bá pọ̀ láti jọ tẹ́lẹ̀ títí débi omi tí wọ́n máa mú lé báyìí náà máa yẹ̀wò nígbà kan kí n má dárúkọ gbogbo èèyàn ní tọ́ílẹ̀tì ní nǹkan ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ kù ní wáìtì ní ṣẹlẹ̀dọ̀ lọ́bàtàlá sí gbogbo ìlú ńgbà náà gbogbo ẹ̀ máa funfun kẹ́nẹ́wọ́n ní kò sí irú ẹ̀mọ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ bá wa padà sí ṣé ẹ ti ẹ̀rí Saturday environmental yẹn ó ṣe kókó sáà o ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kíjọba bá wa yẹ ẹbẹ̀ yẹn wò kọ́ dà padà tẹ́ pé tí gbogbo èèyàn náà bá ṣèdọ̀tí mọ́tò máa dúró wọ́n á dẹ̀ kó á jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn ọ̀dọ̀tí yẹn á jẹ́ kó dínkù Ọlọ́run á gbà fún yín eléyìí ò ní já ṣe mọ́ eléyìí ò sì já ṣe mọ́ environmental day lágbára Ọlọ́run world day lágbára Ọlọ́run àṣà àìmọye commissioner wa mo pray fún yín lágbára Ọlọ́run tẹ́ bá ti kúrò lórí commissioner ẹ̀yin náà máa kẹ́ máa múra governor lẹ́ o ẹ ṣé o.
ẹ ṣé o mà ìyálọ́jà general fún Ẹ̀gbá adúpẹ́ mo fi àsìkò yìí kí ọmọọba Adégòkè Adékúnlé secretary Abẹ́òkúta South Zonal CDC àti gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ tí wọ́n wà níbí ṣáṣáṣá ẹ ṣé àdúpẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tí ìyálọ́jà sọ yẹn má jẹ́ ká kó nù ó ṣe kókó àìmọye ìgbàlèmí náà ti ráwọn tó ń sọ̀kalẹ̀ nú SUV nítòótọ́ tó jẹ́ pé àwọn náà ń dalẹ̀ sínú ẹ̀ tó bá dẹ̀ dé wọ́n á rò pé gbogbo ìdọ̀tí tó jẹnẹrétì ń bẹ inú ọjà ni wọn ò ní mọ̀ pé àwọn kan náà ń wá láti inú ibì kan àwọn ọmọléèwé tá a wà ń bí kákan fi eléyìí ṣe kóríyá fúnra wa ṣe mọ̀ pé àsìkò òjò láwa yìí àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké adẹ̀ like láti máa ṣeré nú òjò arántí orin tá a máa ń kọ́ gbà yẹn táwa ti ń ṣeré nú òjò ńgbà kékeré òjò rọ̀ ṣeré nínú ilé má wọnú òjò kí aṣọ rẹ má bàa tútù kí òtútù. ìyálọ́jà ìrántí ṣe mọ̀ pé ìgbà yẹn tẹ́mi bá ti ṣe é lọ tí n bá dé ọmọ yìí kí ló tún ṣe mo ní tí mo fẹ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn ni o. ẹ ṣé mà àdúpẹ́ thank you very much. Next we will be moving to the Ministry of Forestry and we have representing the Honourable Commissioner in that ministry the Permanent Secretary Dr. Uyisowe Augustine. A round of applause for him, please.
Good morning, all. Your Excellency, the First Lady of Ogun State, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, the Head of Service, the 21st Head of Service, 21st Head of First Service, Mr. Saka MNI, the Honorable Commissioner for Forestry, Mr. Honorable Ola Oresonya, and the Chairman of the Body of Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Fajongbo, and every other stakeholders. Let me stand on the existing protocol. I'm here to represent my Honorable Commissioner, Engineer Taiwo Dotun, FNSC. He is unavoidably absent because of the exigency of work. Here I read his address. On the occasion of World Environmental Day, I extend warm greetings and best wishes to the good people of Ogun State and all stakeholders committed to environmental sustainability. This year's theme, inspired by Nature for Climate, for our future, reminds us that nature-based solutions remain our greatest strategies in addressing challenges of climate change. The forests, wetlands, rivers, and biodiversity that surround us provide invaluable solutions for building resilient communities, reducing environmental degradation, and securing a sustainable future for generations to come. In this regard, the Ministry of Forestry in Ogun State has adopted certain numbers of strategies in response to the threat posed by climate change. These strategies include the Ribley Act of Forest Conservation, in which 50,000 hectares of natural forests were placed under the Omo Shasha Oluwa Conservation Project. These form a block of the remaining lowland rainforest southwest of Nigeria. These forests clearly served as buffer and as aquifer recharge for Lagos State. The Ministry of Forestry, through annual tree planting, has continued to improve on the forest cover of the entire state, hoping to meet with the United Nations specification of 25% of our land area. The ministry has engaged in some strategic partnership which support both conservation, restoration, and reforestation of our forest reserve in the overall interest of our populace. These stakeholders include private sector, NGO, community-based organization, forest-dependent communities, government agency in the state and at the federal level. The approval of the creation of about 4,000 hectares of protected forests and a wildlife sanctuary at Itasin community is another milestone that demonstrates the commitment of Ogun State government about biodiversity conservation and climate change mitigation. I therefore call on all stakeholders to support tree planting initiatives, embrace sustainable land use practices, protect our forest resources, and actively participate in climate action. Together we can build a greener, healthier, and more prosperous Ogun State. On behalf of the ministry, I therefore commend the Ogun State Ministry of Environment for organizing this important event and for its continued commitment to environmental sustainability. Let us continue to be inspired by nature, act for the climate, and work together for our future. Thank you, and God bless Ogun State.
Thank you very much, sir. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Forestry. Àkókò tá a wà yìí, àkókò tí èèyàn máa ń ronú jinlẹ̀ ni. Àwọn olóyìnbó á ní you think inside the box and outside the box. Kí ni ìtumọ̀ ẹ̀? Béyìí bá wá, à á ronú pé ọ̀nà wo la tún lè gbé gbà tí ó mú kí ayé dẹrùn. There is something that is now known as the Clean Cook Stove presentation. This Clean Cook Stove presentation is an initiative that is to help the generality of our people. Lákòókò tí owó afẹ́fẹ́ ìdáná tá a mọ̀ sí gáàsì ó ti ń di gọbọi, ó ti ń lọ òkè, ó tún ní bá a ṣe lè ṣe tó fi di pé owó tá a máa ná kò ní gara. That's why we have this special clip for you to set the foundation upon which the next speaker will come and speak to us. Therefore, I request your attention as we move to the screen to watch this clip. Thank you.
Hey guys, I want to show you the easiest way to start up the fire in this Jikoka stove. First of all, you bring out this ashtray down, put the small pieces of carton in it, arrange it properly, and put a little kerosene. Drop a little kerosene to help the carton to light, and you put it back and make a space where the air will enter. Next thing is to put charcoal in the charcoal chamber. Small pieces of charcoal is preferable. You make a space where you can put your matchstick down the ashtray. That is what I'm doing now to light up the carton that is in the ashtray. You can see it now. The fire is on. At this point, you still need to add more charcoal. So this is it. At this stage, you can see the charcoal is already burning. It has turned to red and is ready. Your stove is ready to use and cook food. Like I told you earlier, you can use this place to control the quantity of air that enters and the amount of heat it produces. The more you open it, the more air that will enter and the more heat. Closes it more like this to produce less heat and the lesser air will enter. And one more important thing is that some are afraid of breakage, but I assure you there is no way that this thing can break because it is made of steel, the type of iron that they use in producing pressure pots. You know that pressure pot produces much heat, and this one is the same thing too. You know some stoves are made of clay, but this one is not among them. There is nothing that can break here, nothing that can spoil as we are seeing it. And you can also add more charcoal depending on the quantity of food you are cooking. Then after, when your food is done, don't pour water inside the stove. Instead, you remove the charcoal, pour it on the ground, and now quench the fire on the ground. Now pour the water on the ground. But if you don't have that time, you can also close.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's just the demonstration of what this Clean Cook Stove presentation is all about. The Clean Cook Stove will be distributed here today, and that means some of us will be going home with what we see inside this carefully packaged box. Ohun tá a wò yẹn bí ohun tá a gbé sínú àwọn páálí bí wọ́n ṣe máa ṣiṣẹ́ ni béèyàn bá ti ra èédú kò nílò afẹ́fẹ́ ìdáná mọ́ bàbá ti dá bí wọ́n ṣe fi hàn wá yẹn bá ṣe máa lò nínú ilé wa nìyẹn. Ẹ sì ẹ tún gbé ilẹ̀ ní ẹgbẹ́ wa ẹ jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn rí ẹ bá nà sókè kan rí ẹ nà sókè kan rí ẹ gbé sókè dáadáa kan rí ara ṣe ẹ sì tẹ́ ẹ ṣe náà nìyẹn. Ẹ bá wa fúnjọba bàbá wa Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ní àtẹ́wọ́. Èédú lẹ́ẹ̀ máa lò fi dá ilé yìí o kì í ṣe gáàsì o bọ́ ṣe fi hàn wáyé ni béèyàn bá ti fi èédú díẹ̀ sí tó ti abẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa ṣẹ̀fọ́ nìyẹn ẹ̀fọ́ rírò èédú ó ti dà ẹ ṣé àdúpẹ́. We celebrate the presence of our SSA in the ministry. Prince Femi Adewumi, thank you so much. Akiwumi for joining us. We appreciate your presence here. Now, let's bring in the Federal Ministry of Environment officials as they have a message for us on this clean cook stove that will be presented here today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our hands together for the representative of the Honorable Minister of Environment, Mrs. Dolapo John Aigbe.
Thank you very much, sir. Her Excellency, the First Lady of Ogun State, the Gateway State, in person of Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, the Head of Service, Ogun State, Alhaji Olanrewaju Saka MNI, the Honorable Commissioner of Environment, our great daddy in the house, in person of Dr. Ola Horesoya, Honorable Commissioners here present and their representatives, Permanent Secretaries for Ogun State Ministries, the Permanent Secretary of Environment, Dr. Kafayat Lawan, the Chairman Board of Permanent Secretaries, all Permanent Secretaries present, community women, market women, students, and our development partners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I bring you warm greetings from the Federal Ministry of Environment. Good morning, everybody. This speech is for the Director, Department of Climate Change, in person of Dr. Iniobo Abiola Awe, who is unavoidably absent because she has a conflicting assignment. But I'll be reading her speech because what we are here for, we are commemorating the World Environment Day. And the World Environment Day is celebrated every June 5th of every year. It's a UN World Environment Day. And we are commemorating this day with awareness on clean cooking. Like we have all seen, these cook stoves is a way to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from using our traditional cooking. So I will be reading the remarks of the director at this humble event. Distinguished participants, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to this commemoration and awareness campaign on clean cooking and distribution of locally produced clean cook stoves. You will agree with me that today we are dealing with an issue that has a strong social, physical, and economical dimension. Global climate change is today a matter of concern to every country in the world. The developing countries, including Nigeria, are not immune to the impact of climate change, and we can only ignore discussions and decisions concerning it at our own peril, which we don't want as Nigerians. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, Africa, among the developing countries of the world stand out as the most vulnerable continent and region to the impact of climate change. Though we contribute minimal to the emissions, but the impact and the effect is on us greatly. And therefore, the world region, which deserve attention to adapt and alleviate this impact. Traditional cooking methods using firewood, charcoal, not only pose serious health risks due to indoor air pollution, but also contribute to deforestation and climate change. In 2024, the Federal Executive Council of Nigeria approved the National Climate Change Policy, and it was launched by the Honorable Minister of Environment at the sideline of the 17th section of the National Council on Environment. The policy seeks to expand access to clean cooking and also to improve and enhance our local producers, just like these stoves we are distributing today. Dear participants, we are all aware the government of Nigeria is committed to Renew Hope agenda, in which one of its focus areas is to unlock energy and natural resources for sustainable development. Achieving this, the federal government is committed to support domestication of the clean cooking policy by implementing the key recommendations and embarking on extensive awareness to communicate co-benefits that cleaner cooking solutions brings and provide technical and business training, which will build the capacity of our local producers and distributors. In line with the above, the Federal Ministry of Environment has, under the Presidential Initiative on Climate Change, made a significant step forward in our shared mission to promote cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable cooking solutions in our communities. Through this campaign, we aim to introduce clean cook stoves as a safer, more efficient alternative to our traditional cooking. We are proud to be joined by you today, the community leaders, women group, market women, and youth organizations, whose presence underscores the importance of this initiative. I would like to appreciate the management of the Federal Ministry of Environment and the staff of the Department of Climate Change that contributed immensely to the success of this process, and also to appreciate the Ogun State Ministry of Environment, particularly the Honorable Commissioner, who has worked tirelessly to see that this process is carried out effectively. I also want to thank all partners, local manufacturers, supporters, who have made this project possible. This is not just a distribution event, but the beginning of a transformation in how we cook, how we live, and care for our environment. Let us work together to spread the awareness far and wide. And as we commemorate this World Environment Day, I wish to emphasize that environmental sustainability and climate action are collective responsibility. Government alone cannot achieve the transformation we seek. We all have our roles to play. The market women, the students, the community people, we all have our roles to play. And sustainable consumption patterns, responsible waste management, afforestation, biodiversity conservation, renewable energy adoption, and climate smart practices in our homes, our schools, and our communities. And by this, we will make the environment sustainable for us and for the future generation. On this note, I say a big thank you and welcome to this event, and I congratulate us. Happy World Environment Day. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dolapo John Aigbe. We appreciate your presence here today. Thank you. Ndo, abi, Ndo àbí Aigbe. Ìgbà tẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń pa àwọn orúkọ yẹn ló jẹ́ kí n rò pé bóyá ẹ rántí èdè ilé mọ́. Ẹ ṣé, a dúpẹ́. Inspired by nature, for climate, for our future. But do you know that nature in itself needs our input? Because when nature is in existence, it must relate with some sets of people, living and non-living. With the Minister of Environment and the present administration, we've done at least to a level where we can confidently say we can relate with our nature and with our people. That is what this next documentary, very short one, will indeed unfold to us. One more time, let's go to the screen.
Welcome to the 2026 World Environment Day celebration here in Ogun State, where we emphasize the critical intersections of innovation and sustainability. Today, we explore an innovative solution to one of our planet's most pressing challenges, the effective management of waste through refuse-derived fuels, or RDF. Ogun State stands at a crossroad of challenge and opportunity. A growing urban landscape produces more waste every day, straining streets, ecosystem, and health. Yet, within the challenge lie a practical choice, turning waste into something valuable. What is RDF and how is it made? RDF, or refuse-derived fuel, is produced from municipal waste that is sorted, dried and compacted into a high-energy fuel. It starts with separation, removing metal, glasses and other non-combustibles, then shredding and drying to boost energy content. The result is a clean, uniform fuel that can replace fossil fuels in cement plants, brick plants and other industrial processes without sacrificing safety or air quality. Waste in landfills emits methane, a powerful greenhouse gas. By diverting waste to RDF, we cut methane at the source and replace high-carbon fossil fuels with a smarter energy option. RDF can lower the carbon intensity of energy used by industry, especially when the alternative will be methane-rich decomposition or coal. This is the circular economy in action. Energy from waste, materials reclaimed, and pure virgin fuel extracted. In Ogun State, RDF can power industries while keeping street cleaners and waste stream better managed. It supports reliable energy for essential services, especially during price shocks. The use of RDF reduces the volume of waste sent to landfills, decreasing methane production, a potent greenhouse gas. This innovative approach not only facilitates energy production, but also enhances the circular economy, showing us how waste can be transformed into resources. Jobs emerge along the value chain, from sorting and processing to logistics and operation, creating local livelihood and economic resilience. Economic benefits: cost stability, reduced landfill tipping fees, social benefits, cleaner neighborhood, health improvements. Modern RDF facilities use scrubbing, filtration, and real-time monitoring to minimize emissions. Responsible seating and ongoing community engagement are essential to safety and trust. Water use, waste minimization, and strong governance, guardrails ensure that RDF delivers benefits without compromising health or environment. A supportive policy environment, clear regulation, permitting, and incentives help RDF scale. Public-private partnerships and climate finance accelerate adoption and local capacity. Ogun State can lead Nigeria in sustainable waste management and low-carbon industry. RDF project of Lafarge African PLC demonstrates success and inspire replication across the country. The Lafarge Refuse-Derived Fuel Project is an initiative to convert municipal and industrial waste into alternative fuel for its cement production, replacing fossil fuel like coal and gas, thereby reducing landfill problems and pollution associated with usage of fossil fuel. A blueprint of climate resilience, jobs, and cleaner health. Waste is a resource when managed wisely. Join hands as communities, businesses, industrialists, and policy makers to turn waste into energy, protect our climate, and build a healthier Ogun State. Together, through refuse-derived fuel, we can fight climate change and build a sustainable future for generations to come.
A round of applause for the Ministry of Environment. You've just seen what they've been able to do and the plans as well as the vision for the tomorrow in which we are now, and of course the future that we dream of enjoying ourselves. RDF it is. RDF is it. So whichever way you want to do, either is it or it is, just make sure that you key into RDF. On that note, we welcome the Honorable Commissioner in that ministry for a short keynote address. Dr. Ola Oresoya.
Thank you very much, the MC. The First Lady of Ogun State, Her Excellency, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, our Chacha Head of Service. The day was appointed, I was happy because that's an environmentalist already before I became the Head of Service. As a PS, as a director, was always asking about environment. Ladies and gentlemen, let me recognize the Head of Service of Ogun State, Alhaji Olarewaju Saka. And I want to seek the permission of the Excellency to allow me stand on the, identify with the long list of protocol that have been established today so that we can save time. I know we need to hear more from our Head of Service and from our First Lady, who will be telling us the key issues we need to know. So my speech, well written out, so I'll just be giving you an abridged one, but the main speech is circulated online. So I just want to appreciate our distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and try to remind you that Ogun State remains firmly committed to environmental sustainability as a key pillar of development agenda of His Excellency, Prince Dr. Abiodun CON. Over the past years, the Ministry of Environment has implemented several strategic interventions aimed at strengthening environmental governance, improving sanitation, enhancing climate resilience, and raising environmental awareness across the state. We've listened to various testimonies here this afternoon, from the NSC chairman, from Iyaloja in particular. She said it in the raw, particular way, direct. You know, there are some people who are always after enforcement, and some of us are always after pacifying. There's a two-end to it. Eshigon Iyaloja for that altruism. All right, so, well, those key achievement varies and it goes on and on. We have also identified climate action through we are identified with climate action through tree planting campaign, ecosystem protection initiatives, stakeholders engagement. That's why we have our CDs and community development associations. They're here, and the engagement with students. They're here with geologists, with various groups in our society who are stakeholders, and they are our strategic partners also. And talking about strategic partners, we have the Federal Ministry of Environment, who will be working with collaboration and effective collaboration today. And what we are witnessing today, apart from the World Environment Day celebration, we are witnessing the birth of an effective synergy between the state and the federal government. The state will be providing what we call the RDFs. You saw the two videos there. There's one video that showed you the stove that we use. There's another video that showed you the fuel that we are going to use for the stove. The state will be providing the fuel while the stove is coming from the federal. That is collaboration. A major component of our climate strategy is the promotion of the RDFs, which I've just mentioned, as a sustainable waste-to-energy solution. RDF, which is refuse-derived fuel, convert combustible municipal solid waste into alternative fuel for domestic and industrial use, thereby reducing landfill pressures, cutting greenhouse gases emission, and reducing dependency on fossil fuel. We have been collaborating also with the academia. We are lucky to have the Federal University of Agric right here with us, and we have an erudite scholar who will be talking to us about what we've been doing together with the university. The Town and Gown group, which we have in the Ministry of Environment, we have a professor, don't even mention his name, proper introduction will be given when he comes to tell us about the RDF and the advantage we are going to have. We are using it as a key contact for our circular economy and our climate change resilience action in Ogun State. In Ogun State, we will continue to invest in environmental education through environmental management and climate change clubs in school. Evidently, we can see all the schools here. We are collaborating, and I think I've told the First Lady very soon, the First Lady will be launching what we call the climate clubs in all the schools in Ogun State. This is still the tip of the iceberg, because our mommy of the state, is our climate change champion, who will be guiding all these children together for the climate change club that will launch in all the schools. This initiative is to equip the young people with knowledge and skill in environmental stewardship, waste reduction, biodiversity conservation, and climate action, and to ensure sustainability for future generation. The future is here. They are here with us. Today, we also celebrate a significant milestone with the presentation of the stove, like I mentioned, and the fuel for the stove is also being presented. Distinguished guests, while we have made progress, challenges such as climate change, urbanization, industrial pollution, deforestation, and economic degradation still continues and requires stronger collaboration, innovation, and sustained commitment. And we are not going to relent in doing that. However, environmental sustainability cannot be achieved by government alone. It requires collective responsibility. And that is why we are all here today. It is just a collective responsibility. Every tree planted, every act of proper waste disposal, every tree planted, that's why Minister of Forestry is here, and I'm glad they made their presentation. And when we talk about every waste that is collected, talking about Farouk, when you talk about Farouk, Farouk will not allow you to dump waste in the street. So expect more from Farouk. Oh my God, one bini. Every tree planted, every act of proper waste disposal, every effort to conserve energy, and every step taken to reduce pollution contributes to healthier future. And just like I told the representative of the Federal Ministry of Environment, Ogun State is the first state that is already introducing RDF into the cement industry. The decarbonization of our cement industry has started in Ogun State. It's not going to start, it has started. And some of the pictures we showed you are right there in Ogun State, where refuse is being used as alternative fuel for the cement industry in Ogun State. They are using less of fossil fuel. And we are taking these to households where this refuse will be converted to what we'll be using. What you saw there is coal. Actually, in Ogun State, we have the largest number of coal that we are getting from our forests, okay? And our coal is available in Ogun State, and refuse is also available in Ogun State. This refuse will be turned to pellets that we use at household level. So at industrial level, we're already using it, but we are taking it also now to household level. So talking about energy conservation, Ogun State is taking the lead. Let us therefore renew our commitment to building a greener, cleaner, and more prosperous Ogun State. On behalf of the Ministry of Ogun State, Ministry of Environment of Ogun State, I thank all partners and stakeholders for their continued support. Together, inspired by nature, we can protect our climate and secure our future. Ibiga Ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Thank you and God bless you all for listening.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Commissioner. Ní ṣókí ìṣẹ́jú kan ohun tí wọ́n sọ ní pé gbogbo ohun tí àwọn ti ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ àti àtìlẹ́yìn yín ló jẹ́ kó ṣeé ṣe. Jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ tí a bá tún fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀, a lè rí iṣẹ́ takuntakun, èrè tó wà nínú àjùmọ̀ṣe àti pàápàá jùlọ àwọn àǹfààní tí a lè mú ní agbègbè wa. Ìtàn sọ òjú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ṣókí. Thank you very much. Abi? Ṣé mo yọ kúrò ńbẹ̀ àbí mo fi kún? Thank you very much. Yes, we're just going to take a short charge from a man who stepped into office not quite 2 weeks. He's been moving around as the head of service. But even before that, just like the Honorable Commissioner said, he's been an ambassador of what comes from the nature and ensuring that our environment is safe for us to live as we connect. Our hands together as we invite to the microphone Mr. Olanrewaju Saka, MNI, the head of service, Ogun State.
Protocols. Her Excellency, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, wife of the Governor of Ogun State and First Lady of Ogun State, Honorable Commissioner for Ministry of Environment, Honorable Oladimiji Oresanya, body of Permanent Secretary present, ably led by the Chairman, Mrs. Lydia Fajombo, and other Permanent Secretaries. Mrs. Dolapo John Hahibe, representing the Director, Department of Climate Change, Federal Ministry of Environment. Professor Babatunde Said Bada, guest speaker from Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. Ms. Oyeniyi Owolano, Special Advisor, Ministry of Environment. Alhaji Chief Jami Badmus, Chairperson, Nigeria Environmental Society, Abeokuta Chapter, Head of Sister Agencies, here present Ogepa Ogwama and the likes, Board of Directors, sponsors and partners, Egbe Oloja, students from various schools, other distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to join the global community in commemorating the 2026 World Environment Day with the inspiring theme, Inspired by Nature for Climate for Our Future. This occasion provides us with a valuable opportunity to reflect on our collective responsibility to protect our environment and preserve the natural resources upon which our future depends. Today, more than ever before, the realities of climate change, environmental degradation, pollution, and unsustainable consumption patterns remind us that safeguarding our environment is no longer a choice, but a necessity. Nature continues to provide solutions to many of challenges confronting humanity, and it is our duty to draw inspiration from these solutions in building resilient communities and sustainable institutions. In Ogun State, under the leadership of His Excellency, the governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun CON. Environmental sustainability remains a key component of our developmental agenda. As a public service, we recognize that government institutions must lead by example in promoting environmentally responsible practices and fostering a culture of sustainability. In line with this year's theme, the Office of the Head of Service has taken deliberate steps to strengthen environmental consciousness within the state's secretariat and across the public service. One of such initiatives is the establishment of a plastic collection hub located at the rear of Block C of the state secretariat, powered by the Ministry of Environment in conjunction with the Office of the Head of Service. This initiative is designed to encourage proper disposal and recycling of plastic waste, reduce environmental pollution, and support the circular economy through collaboration with recycling partners. Furthermore, I am pleased to announce the commencement of a bi-monthly environmental sanitation exercise across the secretariat. This will commence tomorrow by the special grace of God. This initiative complements the laudable environmental programs of the Ministry of Environment and is aimed at promoting cleaner surroundings, improving workplace hygiene, and encouraging every public servant to become an active participant in environmental stewardship. These initiatives also align with the ongoing transformation and facelift of government offices within the secretariat. Our goal is not only to create aesthetically pleasing workplace, but also to build environments that are healthy, sustainable, productive, and reflective of global best practice. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, environmental protection is a shared responsibility. Government efforts alone cannot achieve the desired outcomes without the active cooperation of citizens and public servants. I thereby urge all members of the Ogun State Public Service to embrace responsible waste management, participate actively in sanitation exercises, reduce plastic consumption where possible, and support recycling initiatives within and beyond our workplace. As we celebrate this year's World Environment Day, let us renew our commitment to preserving our environment for present and future generations. Together, through conscious actions and collective responsibility, we can build a cleaner, greener, healthier, and more climate-resilient Ogun State. Thank you for your attention, and may God bless Ogun State and the federal government of Nigeria. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn, àjọṣe gbogbo wa ni. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, the head of service. I'd like to crave the indulgence of Her Excellency. We know that there are other assignments that you have, but these next two events, they are crucial to our celebration today. We'd like to listen to a paper presentation from an erudite scholar from the Federal University of Agriculture, FUNAB, Abeokuta, and to be precise, Department of Environmental Management and Toxicology, College of Environmental Resource Management. We have a professor that will do justice to the theme and the presentation of today. He will talk about the RDF that we saw in that video clip and its roles in climate actions. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our hands together for Professor Bada Babatunde from FUNAB Abeokuta. Please, let's encourage him, let's encourage him. You know, when you see professors in our traditional outfit, they are always looking different from the suit. So thank you very much for identifying with the climate and our nature. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. I would like to first of all acknowledge the presence of the First Lady of the State, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun. Good afternoon, ma. The Honorable Commissioner for Environment, Honorable Ola Oresanya, and the Permanent Head of Service, Mr. Olarewaju Saka. Please pardon me to stand on existing protocol. Please pardon me to stand on existing protocol. The topic before me is refuse-derived fuel and its value to climate action. We all are aware there is environment, which we local people will call it surroundings. What we are talking about, how to convert gbogbo waste and generate lọ́jà yẹn bá a sì lè sọ di nǹkan tá a máa fi dáná. So to start with, environment we met is natural, is pure. From the biblical point of view, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 to 27. If you read it, God created the sun, total of what we conceive as the environment. God saw it very good. Man therefore inherited the perfect environment void of pollution. If you go to Holy Quran also, Quran chapter 67 verse 15, it is He who made the earth tame for you. So walk among its slopes, eat of His provision, and to Him is the resurrection. That means we inherited pure and non-polluted environment. But due to human activities like use of fossil fuel, waste management, urbanization, this environment has changed completely. We have degraded the environment. And that's why we are experiencing what we call climate change. Climate change, we have seen the effect of climate change. Climate change ni ìyípadà ojú ọjọ́. Ó dẹ̀ ti bà nǹkan ọ̀gbìn jẹ́. Kò dára fún ara wa, kò dẹ̀ dára fún àyíká wa. So what can we do to check this effect of climate change? There is something we call climate action. That is àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ tá a máa gbé láti lè gbé ìgbésí ayé àlàáfíà pẹ̀lú bójú ọjọ́ ṣe yí padà yìí. And that is climate action. Climate action refers to a range of activities, mechanism, policy instruments that aim at reducing severity of human-induced climate change and its impacts. And one of these is, example include reduce greenhouse gas emission, adapt to the impact of climate change, and mitigate the effect and promote sustainable economic growth. One of the problems we are having in this country is waste management. Thank God that Mama Yoloja wa bi bai, and you praise our commissioner very well for the good work he has been doing, and for the government, the state government, for their effort in making sure the Ogun State is setting pace for other states in terms of environmental management. We have been doing a lot together with the University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, and there is a lot of collaboration between the university and the government. Now, what we are going to do is this waste, ọjà tẹ́ ń kó jọ lọ́jà yẹn, àwọn kan yẹn, ó máa emit àwọn gáàsì kan tó ń bójú afẹ́fẹ́ jẹ́. Wọ́n fi máa ń sọ wípé ilẹ̀ tẹ́ bá ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan, wọ́n á wá kó. Tọ́ba tí wọ́n á kó ilẹ̀ yẹn, ìyẹn náà máa sọ di nǹkan tẹ́ máa fi dáná ibi tá à ń lọ lé nínú yẹn. Now, waste generation is of different composition. Municipal solid waste is 100%, organic waste 60%, plastic up to the paper, which is 8%. The waste we are generating is an opportunity for us, a resource for us. We are seeing it as waste. Ẹ̀rí pé ilẹ̀ ni kò wúlò mọ́ torí pé ẹ̀ ní nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ fi ṣe. To a farmer, to a poultry farmer, to cattle farmers, the cow dung, poultry manure is a waste to him. But to a crop farmer is a resource because we use it to fertilize his farm. If you convert this waste to gas, to something else, it will reduce the waste you are taking to dump sites. That's number one. It will reduce emission of greenhouse gases like methane, like carbon dioxide. And this methane is a source of gas. It's very rich in gas. Now, what are the current measures being implemented? The current measure being implemented concerning the waste management is what? Public-private partnership, recycling initiative, waste to energy, sanitation law, informal sector recovery policy framework. That is National Solid Waste Policy 2021, EPR Guidelines 2022. The primary goal of climate action is to mitigate climate change and adapt to its impact. And this can be achieved by converting our refuse to fuel. We are the one generating it. Anyway, it's not left for us ká fi ṣe nǹkan tó máa ṣe wá láǹfààní tí ò ní pa àlàáfíà wa lára. We now go to RDF, that is refuse derived fuel. So kí ta fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lérí sí ni pé báwo la ṣe máa sọ ilẹ̀ tá à ń lò lọ́jà yẹn àbí tá à ń generate community wa báwo la ṣe fẹ́ sọ di nǹkan àǹfààní fún wa bí nǹkan àfi dáná. Now, in RDF, that's refuse derived fuel, is being dual purpose. The first one is getting rid of waste management crisis. 2, alternative fuel, we are getting it from it. Now, in some RDF goes by several alternative names depending on the region and the quality standard. For example, in some country like Europe, they call it solid recovery fuel. Benefit of RDF, refuse derived fuel. That is, kí láǹfààní tó wà ká sọ ilẹ̀ tá à ń gbàjọ ládùúgbò lọ́jà wa, kí ni benefit, kí láǹfààní tó wà ń bẹ̀. Number 1 is reduce emission. Àwọn gáàsì tí ò bá ara mu yẹn á di ohun ìgbàgbé. That is, it will reduce emission of greenhouse gases like NOx, SOx, CH4. The energy efficiency. RDF pellet provide up to 70% improved combustion performance. The fọ́nrán tá a wò lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn wọ́n show bó ṣe ń sọ ilẹ̀ di energy àwọn cement company wa because they require a lot of heat in the process in producing cement. Then it has a lot of environmental impact, that is cut fuel costs, reduce landfill dependency, and support circular economy. It supports circular economy in the sense that circular economy is different from the linear economy most of us are still practicing. We are still practicing it in the sense that if you go to supermarket, you request for nylon. How are you going to manage that nylon? But instead of you to go with your fancy bag when you are going to supermarket, the reverse is the case. Ẹ̀yin màmá lọ́jà wa tẹ́ bá tajà fún yẹn kó ra bread 5 naira, you give him nylon. Báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ manage the nylon yẹn? If you x-ray the dump site or the landfill where they are dumping waste, larger percentage is nylon because it will take time, years to degrade. So this circular economy is teaching us if you buy something, you buy it, you use it as many times as possible before you go to market to buy another one. But the reverse is the case. If you buy something today, you collect nylon. Tomorrow you collect nylon. How are you going to manage the nylon? Then we are found of habit of buy something, use it, dispose it. It's not good for our economy. It's not even good for ourselves. With the present economic situation, it's not good for us. I always tell people, this subsidy remover is environment friendly. If you don't know, it's environment friendly. If 5 staff, they are working at ministry, Ogun State, they are living in the same area, they are doing what we call carpool. Once or our papo. And next tomorrow, you are the one that will take us to office. If not because subsidy has been removed and the price of fuel is going up, we won't be thinking in that direction. Then, renewable energy sources, climate mitigation. That is one of mitigation measures for climate change because it reduces emission of greenhouse gases. How is RDF actually produced? Táwọn fẹ́ rí energy lára waste tá à ń ṣe, bó la ṣe lè ṣe. The number 1 is storage and pre-composting. That is, the process typically starts with waste arriving at processing facilities where it undergoes initial storage. Some facilities employ pre-composting or bio-drying technique to reduce moisture content. That is, tobacco generate waste yìí. Ó máa da kẹgbẹ́ waste yìí tíbi tí òjò ti ní rọ̀ sí. Because moisture tobacco generate energy tó tómi bá ti pọ̀ nú ẹ̀ kò ní jó dáadáa. So that is why you need to process it, preserve it in one place that is safe for water or rainfall. The drying process, you remove the moisture because tómi bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti pọ̀ jù kò ní lè jóná dáadáa. Just like the one they show us, fọ́nrán tó fi wà wá ń sìn, wọ́n rí i pé wọ́n kọ́ finá sí kí charcoal yẹn tó jó. Tí charcoal yẹn bá ti tutù jù kò ní jó dáadáa. The same thing with if you want to generate fuel from waste, you make sure that your waste is free of water, is free of moisture, you try as much as possible. Manual separation and sorting. This is another area. This is another issue that's creating problem for waste management in Nigeria. Sorting of waste. In fact, I was in a state in Nigeria to deliver a lecture like this. In their markets, Honorable Commissioner, sir, in their markets, they have different markets in that state. So they introduce a lot of competition. If a market can sort your waste, you get award at the end of the year. If a market can sort their waste, that means the government will provide 2 waste bin. The compostable, not they will label it very well. Wọ́n bá gbé ìpìtẹ́ máa dalẹ̀ nù sí bíi méjì. Ilé ìtẹ́ bá rí pé ó máa wúlò fún bí oúnjẹ àwọn kan tó lè wúlò ẹ̀ máa dá síbì kan. Àwọn plastic bottle water plastic ẹ̀ máa dá síbì kan. So àwọn àwa gbé á jẹ́ kó wà easier fún wọn láti lè sọ waste ten generate yẹn di nǹkan dáná di epo tó máa fi dáná. But ẹ bá ń da ọgbẹ́ sójú kan tó máa gbé débi tó ti fẹ́ ṣe, they have to sort it, remove metals and some other things that can affect the machine when they are shredding the waste, the so-called waste. Then mechanical processing. Once sorted, the waste undergoes several mechanical processes. That is, because the waste is of, you have to shred them to different sizes. That is what the mechanical process will look into. Then the final product formation. The process material can be formed into several formats depending on end user requirement. Pelletization creates uniform pellet, typically 6 to 12 mm. That is, after shredding the waste, tomati gé àwọn waste yẹn tí kékèké, wọ́n wá dà sẹ́nu ẹ̀rọ ẹnu machine tó máa sọ di kókòkò tẹ́ máa lè bí a fi dáná bí charcoal yẹn mọ̀ kí charcoal tó igi náà ní charcoal tẹ́ mọ̀ wọ́n rí mọ́lẹ̀ wọ́n dáná sí odi charcoal. Eléyìí náà tomati ṣe tán báyìí wọ́n á sọ di kókòkò tẹ́ máa lè máa fi dáná bẹ́ẹ̀ sẹ́ fi charcoal dáná. Major challenges in RDF. The major challenges, number one is high moisture content. I've explained that one the other time. Let's try as much as possible to keep our waste or waste bin away from water sources. 2, contamination concern. If you are not sorting our waste, there will be contamination. Contamination is we are getting waste, but at the end of the day, you are getting metal inside, you are getting plastic inside, you are getting iron inside. It's contaminated, so we sort all these things. The energy intensity and maintenance demand. The mechanical drying and shredding equipment required for RDF production consumes substantial amount of energy. This energy consumption can account for a significant portion of overall energy potential for the final product. That's major challenge. And most of the places where they are using it, they make use of solar as part of the energy to do the work. These are the challenges, that's contamination, moisture, public perception, and no standard. That is, buyer unsure of the quality. But if you adopt ISO 21640, natural RDF spec, then one will be sure of what he or she is buying. The waste and climate problem we are solving. We are solving with RDF, we are solving a lot of problems, just like what I said the other time. We are reducing the waste we are taking to landfill or dump sites, and at the same time we are getting fuel, and at the same time the open burning will reduce or will stop because we are using the waste for something. You know, in the past, PET bottle is a problem, but now it's a source of income, it's a source of livelihood for some people now. Tá a bá mú mi wá tán gbà yẹn, pet bottle ìṣòro ló jẹ́ fún community fàdúgbò wa fún environment wa, but ń ṣe ó ti diṣẹ́ fún àwọn kan tó bá dá ní sílẹ̀nsì àwọn tó máa kó máa wà ibi tá a fẹ́ lọ pa waste tá a generate náà nìyẹn tó bá dé level ẹ má ti dá waste ẹ bá mi kó because he knows what he can use it for. We have to take it to and sell it. There is a buyback center at the back of the stadium. I think they are still there. If you collect your waste, you can take it to them. They will buy it from you and give you money equivalent. So with RDF, we are solving a lot of problems. The RDF cut emissions like methane, fossil fuel substitution, and biogenic carbon. Now they are using it in cement clean. I've mentioned it the other time, lime plants. Then using RDF in industrial application, that is coal-fired power plants. Sorry. Current Nigeria policy, we have national energy policy, renewable energy policy. Although most policy on ground, unlike on biogas, we don't really have policy. But on renewable energy, we have policy in Nigeria, which turning refuse to fuel, it be a plus to anybody embark on it because there is a established policy on ground to turn waste or biomass to energy. Policy gap, limited financing. The issue is this, just like the issue of environment generally. Thank God for Ogun State government. Some states, they don't put their money, they don't spend their money on environment. And one thing they don't realize is this, if your environment is not tidy, you are not safe. So, but the most banks, they only give loan if you want to embark on environmental projects or you want to embark on business that has to do with the environment. So that's limited financing. Inadequate regulation. Inadequate regulation in the sense that the regulation will make a regulation, the implementation left to me is not, I would say it's not properly implemented. Take for example now, you are saying people should not dump their refuse. You should not dump their refuse inside drainage. It's a major problem. That means the first thing is we get rid of that place, we get to that community, create awareness about how to be dumping their waste. Once you create the awareness, some people will change their attitude. Then number 3, weak waste management, insufficient waste collection limit, feedstock availability. In fact, I would say there was a time I was presenting like this in World Environment Day. I said the PSP then, they were not performing. But I will tell you now, immediately at the end of the month, they will come and pack waste in our community. That means they are effective, they are doing well. So that's another challenge. Then low awareness is another policy gap. People are not aware of this converting waste to energy. Just like when we are doing there is a project going on in FUNAP on circular economy. We are turning waste to biogas. Some people are not aware. Some people will argue with me, it's not possible to manage cassava waste. It's not possible to manage palm oil mill effluent. That is a problem. I say it's possible. It's because you are doing your own for commercial and we are doing our own for research. We have conducted research and we are able to establish the minimum ratio that you can mix, the minimum cattle dung you can mix with cassava wastewater that you can use it to manage your effluent instead of discharging it to the environment and cause environmental pollution. The large tenure issue is another problem. Then the last one, large scale focus, policy favor large projects. Exactly. If you want to establish small projects, like this machine they showed the other time, the 435 because if you have to convert waste to energy, you have to buy that gadget completely. No, there is a small one you can buy that you can do your own at a small scale. So if government can support that small scale, with time that one will graduate to the large scale. We have some shredder that are portable. You can avoid it. There is no need to complete the process, that is to go to pelletization. You may not pelletize it. You can just shred and take it to those that would finish the products. They will buy it from you. Just like this PET bottle we are saying. If you have the portable machine to shred it, you wash it, you can take it to Sango, those who produce storage. They will buy it from you. That means you have added value to the PET bottle generated. Recommendation. National RDF strategy. Develop a comprehensive strategy with target plans and funding. There is need to look into that. Streamline incentive. Simply assess and ensure timely disbursement of incentive. And dedicate funding. Establish specific financial mechanism for RDF projects. Then clear regulation, create comprehensive regulation for plant construction operation, improve waste management, raise awareness, and address land tenure, support small scale system. Guys need to support small scale. And you know, awareness is very, very important. Awareness is very, very, any project you want to do, you want everybody to be involved. The Iyaloja community people, you need to create the awareness because they want to know the value, why they must do that thing. What is the benefit to them? But if you go to market and say, they will just looking at you as if, but if you tell them, most of them will buy the idea. Conclusion. RDF production is environment friendly and there is need to exploit this in Nigeria. Besides being source of fuel, it's a sustainable measure to waste management. Policymakers, entrepreneurs, researchers, communities need to work together to solve the problem of waste management through RDF. This problem of waste management, it has been there for years. It will continue as long as the population is keep on increasing. We'll be facing the problem of waste management. So the best thing is for everybody to work together as a team. I'm very happy the composition of people that are here, Iyaloja, community people, students. People will say catch them young. It's better we are exposing them to what environment is at this stage. Relevance of the RDF production to sustainable development goals. That is SDG 3, good health and well-being, and SDG 6, clean water and sanitation. Thank you for your attention.
Ẹ jẹ́ àpàtẹ́wọ́ fún Professor. Ẹni tó ń ṣe láàrin 20 ìṣẹ́jú yẹn, téèyàn bá bí wọ́n, á tó bí ọ̀sẹ̀ 2-3 tí wọ́n fi ń pò papọ̀. Àbí mo parọ́ sà? Ẹ sà, bí ọ̀sẹ̀ mélòó ló gbà yín kẹ́ tó kó gbogbo eléyìí papọ̀? Ẹ lọ, ẹ tún wò ó, ṣó gbà mú. I know that there will be papers out of this presentation that will be published. Thank you very much. One more time, let's encourage him. Your Excellency, we must thank you one more time. We know that you are a busy woman, but creating time to be here to celebrate World Environment Day speaks volume in the sense that you identify with the younger generation, you connect with nature, and of course, you have something beautiful for the future. That's why your time is indeed very, very special to us. Quickly, because I know that you love to listen to children, we like to bring them on and we give them just 3 minutes. We have 3 schools that we will be invited just to talk on this nature and the theme of this presentation, what they know about our environment, for you to know that these younger generations need all the encouragement to connect with the future. First, I will invite the Tied Up College, Ashero Abeokuta. Please, let's welcome them with our applause. Remember, I said you have 3 minutes. That's 180 seconds to do justice to your presentation here today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good day to our mother, the First Lady of Ogun State, Her Excellency Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, the newly appointed Head of Service, Mr. Olariwaju Iskiu Saka MNI, the Commissioner of Environment, Honorable Oladimeji Olariwaju, the Chair of the Permanent Secretaries, every other Permanent Secretary, dignitaries and executives present here. I am Shufela Michael, and here with me is
Adefemi Oluwatimishi Rachel. I have a very quick question. How do you feel passing by overpopulated areas with fuel-consuming vehicles releasing exhaust, improperly managed sewage and drainage system?
I blame the government.
But do you realize that the activity that leads to this damage are not done by the government, but by we the people?
It is impossible to fix that unless the government does.
It may seem impossible, but the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step.
So why don't we take the bold step to begin a journey? We present to you the 2030 agenda.
The 2030 agenda is pioneered in building a resilient city and a reliable future for not just ourselves, but for the generations to come.
The 2030 agenda encompasses
improving drainage and sewage system by the creation of subsurface drainage system that don't just allow the flow of waste products, but helps to separate refuse from sewage waste and directs it to the right channel for recycling. It also includes the creation of the Go Green project that involves the planting of new trees, because we have come to realize that planting of trees does not require a large expanse of land. It just requires a right amount of water and nutrients for a plant to grow. So imagine for every house we could plant a tree.
the most important is the proper formulation and implementation of planning policies. If the government can, why don't the government incorporate the 2030 agenda as a government policy? Luxury.
Okay, some people may say that urbanization may be the problem, but do we know that with proper moderation and maintenance, urbanization can actually be a solution to the problems we currently have on ground? Imagine converting every fuel-consuming vehicle that releases exhaust into an electrical vehicle or an hydro vehicle or a solar-powered vehicle. This will not just reduce the emission of chlorofluorocarbons, but to also improve our economy into a technologically driven economy. And I want everybody here to know that this agenda is not just a project. It is not just a plan, but it is a vision
inspired by nature, for climate, and for our nature.
Happy World Environment Day.
Thank you very much.
Her Excellency compete at all.
Good day for the First Lady, and good day the Commissioner for Environment, good day the Personal Secretary for Commissioner for Environment. I am Olasun Moses. I'm here with $5 billion. We are here to talk about something simple, which is climate change. And what did I mean by climate change? We all know that climate change is The global rise in temperature, weathers, and weather condition. To see to what climate change really do among us and what leads to climate change. Burning of fossil fuel. What do I mean by burning? When people burn in the environment, most Nigerians have the mentality of, oh, this is waste. Let me just burn it at the back of my house. But no. Do you know that if you burn that, the smoke that will come from that waste product you just finished burning might increase the rise in temperature in the atmosphere? I know, to say it to a layman, increasing the temperature in the atmosphere will cause something ozone layer. If the smoke coming out from every angle in Nigeria, the ozone layer start decreasing every blessed day, which increase the rate at which the sun affects humans. And if you keep doing this, it will get to some particular time where the sun will start burning people. The sun will start burning people's skin. But with the help of this climate change, we have prevented this. They've taught people how to use their waste product to manage. They've taught people how to manage their waste product to refine new things that will be useful to them. I shift to my.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, dignitaries, my fellow students, mommies and daddies. I am Fabio Dolapo, and I am here to take over from where my colleague stopped. He was talking about burning of fuel. Burning of fuel, when we burn fuel, there's a gas released known as CO2, that's carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is among the components that causes depletion in the ozone layer. What is an ozone layer? The ozone layer is the level of the atmosphere's crust which prevents the sun to burn human being directly. So what are the impact of this greenhouse effect? Because CO2 is a greenhouse effect because it causes depletion of ozone layer. What are the impact? The impact is that it causes extreme weather condition, because there are some afternoon that will come out and will find the sun very hot. You know, the sun will look somehow friendly, but when you get in it, it's very hot. The main reason is because of the depletion of the ozone layer, which is extreme heat. CO2 is a gas. When I mean CO2, for most of everyone here who doesn't know how we produce CO2, there's this method of cooking in Africa known as burning of firewood to cook. The gas that is involved, that black smoke, is known as CO2, and this black smoke leads to extreme global warming. So the solution to this greenhouse effect, to reduce the rate of greenhouse effect that we produce, is what we call mitigation. What is mitigation? Mitigation is the transition from the fossil fuel burning, like burning of fuels, to the RDF, which is the refuse derived fuel. So if we can change to this refuse derived fuel, it will favor our environment, decreasing the rate of global warming. And the second stage is that after shifting to RDF, we have to adapt so that the coming generation will take over and it will become a normal thing for humanity in Nigeria. So I want to also emphasize more on climate and weather, because most people mix climate with weather. What is climate? Climate is a long-term weather condition, while weather is the atmospheric condition present now. That's why our team is inspired by nature for climate, because it's a long-term condition, and weather is what you like. Climate is what you are expecting, and weather is the result. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Lishabi Grammar School students, Idiaba Abeokuta, you better come and have an handshake with the head of service. Who knows, you can become another head of service or indeed Honorable Commissioner for Environment in our dear state. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Last but not the least, I'd like to say that the school club initiative started from our secondary schools. FUNAB to also put an injection to the World Environment Day 2026. As it's coming forward, I recognize the presence of one of our special advisors and who is in charge of OGOMA, that's the waste management, Honorable Farouk Hakinzade. Please, a round of applause for him.
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Excellency, the First Lady of Ogun State, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, please permit me to start on the existing protocols. Thank you very much, ma'am. I would like to request that the members or students of FUNAB here present rise and remain standing. Thank you very much. I have with me a letter here. It starts a letter for the future, and it is basically talking about what the future is requesting for us now in the present. I read. It says, "Dear people of Ogun State, I am writing to you from the year 2056. My name does not matter. What matters is where I'm standing as I write this. I am standing on cracked red earth where the Ogun River once sang. I am standing where the thick forest of Olumo once breathed. I am writing to you from the future. You still have the power to change. I know you. I have read your history. In 2026, you had rivers that still moved. You had forests, real forests that filtered your air, held your soil, and sheltered creatures you had not even named yet. Your rain still came. Your farmers still planted. Your children still played under the trees that have been alive longer than your grandparents. You had everything, and nature was not asking you to sacrifice. She was asking you to listen. In my time, we ask ourselves one question every day. Why did we wait? Why in 2026, when the signs are already written in the floods that swallowed farmlands in Shagamu, in the heat that made Abeokuta unbearable in March, why did the people not rise and say, enough? But then I remember, some of you did rise, and I am writing this letter to those people. I am writing to the student who chose to speak today when she could have been silent. I am writing to the official who will leave this hall and make one brave decision. I am writing to the farmer, to the mother, to the children who will one day plant a tree, not for shade, but for faith. Nature inspired everything. She gave you the model for resilience. Look at how a tree bends in the storm but does not break. She gave you the blueprint for community. Look at how a forest does not survive alone. The roots speak on the ground. The strong trees shelter the young ones. She gave you the lesson of patience. Look at how a river does not force its way. It finds a path slowly and faithfully. You were not just living beside nature in 2026. You were living inside her grace. The question was whether you would protect that grace or spend it. In my time, we have lost things that we cannot name. Bird whose songs no one recorded. Trees whose bark held medicines we never discovered. River whose rhythm once told farmers when to plant. These are not just environmental losses. These are cultural losses. They are Ogun losses. But I am not writing to you to bury you in grief. I am writing because in my history books, yes, we still have books. There is a chapter. And that chapter begins on the 9th of June, today, in Ogun State. Some versions of that chapter are full of sorrows. But in the best version, the one I am praying you write today, it says, on that day, they chose the future. They chose the rivers. They chose the trees. They chose their children. You are not being asked to do the impossible. Plant a tree. Stop the burning. Speak when land is cleared needlessly. Teach a child the name of a plant. Demand that your leaders treat the environment as sacred, because it is. These are not small things. These are things that, multiplied by thousands of hands in Ogun State, becomes a movement. And movement becomes history. The theme of your World Environment Day this year says it perfectly. Inspired by nature, for climate, for our future. Let that not just be a banner. Let it be a vow. I am a child of Ogun State. 30 years from now, I do not yet know if I will grow up with clean rivers or dry ones. I do not yet know if I will have forests to walk through or just photographs of them. That answer is in your hands. You that is listening to me right now. Please, choose well, choose boldly, choose nature, with the hope that crosses time, with the love that crosses generation. My name is Daniel Adeyemi, a 500 level student of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, of the Department of Environmental Management and Toxicology. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I looked towards where Prof was sitting, and it seems as if his own clap was the loudest on that line. That shows that you are impacting positively on this generation, and your impactation yielding good fruits. Once again, a round of applause for this young man. In 2 minutes, because we must give our younger generation that necessary support and encouragement, Your Excellency. There is a young lady who is into an NGO known as Plants for the Planet. And I'll just give her 120 seconds for a presentation to be part of the World Environment Day year 2026. Let's welcome Afolashade Oluwo.
Your Excellency, my very own mother and mother of all children in Ogun State, the First Lady of Ogun State, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, the Head of Service, Alhaji Olanrewaju Saka, the Chief Host, Honorable Commissioner for Environment, Dr. Oladimeji Oresanya, the Host, Permanent Secretary, Dr. Kafayat M. Lawal, Mrs. Dolapo Joy, representing from the Federal Ministry of Environment, and all existing protocols. On behalf of the Plan for the Planet Foundation Germany, I warmly wish you a happy World Environment Day 2026. Plan for the Planet is a global youth-led movement with more than 100,000 ambassadors for climate justice and tree planting across the world. The foundation supports large-scale ecosystem restoration and climate action projects at present. The organization is actively participating in international climate discussions in Bonn, Germany, contributing to the negotiations and outcomes that will help shape future action, climate action towards COP31. Today, I join millions of people around the world in celebrating our planet with the theme inspired by nature, for climate, for our future. Renew our commitment to safeguarding the environment for present and future generations. As a program coordinator of Plant for the Planet Foundation in Ogun State, I am inspired by the growing number of young environmental champions, schools, communities, and partners who are taking action for a greener and more sustainable future. This year's celebration reminds us that climate change remains one of the greatest challenges humanity is facing. Every tree planted, every ecosystem restored, and every sustainable action taken contributes to a healthier and more resilient planet. In Ogun State, we remain committed to empowering children and young people through environmental education, tree planting initiatives, and climate action programs. Over the last 9 months, we have empowered 240 students across 18 schools. Among them are Mark Jobs, Anglican High School Public, Abeokuta Girls Grammar School, and many others. Through mentorship and practical learning experiences, these young people are becoming environmental leaders and advocates for sustainability. We are indeed grateful for the support of the Ministry of Environment, Ogun State, who committed largely in terms of provision of seedlings. Over 43 of Terminalia superba, which is popularly called white affaras, have been planted throughout the 18 schools mentioned above, and through the support of the director, Mrs. Jurojaye, and technical experts, Mr. Fisher. My own organization of Bean Shade and Device Organization also contributed awareness creation of mental health awareness, which is largely attributed to eco-anxiety advocacies, and provision of more tree seedlings for the ongoing tree planting campaigns that have strengthened our collective impact. Together, we can restore degraded landscapes, increase biodiversity, and build resilient communities capable of thriving in a changing climate. I encourage everyone to play their part by planting trees, reducing waste, proper recycling, conserving of natural resources and wildlife, and supporting environmental initiatives within their communities. The future of our planet depends on the choices and actions we make now. Let us act today for a greener tomorrow. Let us stop talking and start planting. Happy World Environmental Day. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. We are almost getting to the high point of today's event. Clean Cook Initiative. It will be launched here today as we will have the formal launch and distribution of this equipment. To live in. We will take a song to gently bring her to address us today and for the formal launch. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and of course my pupils that are here, let's sing this song as we welcome Her Excellency, the First Lady of Ogun State, in addressing us here at the World Environment Day for year 2026. Iya lùgbọ́wọ́ mi tí ń tọ́jú mi ní kékeré, ẹ̀yìn rẹ̀ ló fi pọ́n mi, ìyá kú iṣẹ́ mi, kí ni màá ṣe bí kíyá mi kúṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú tẹríba mọ́lẹ̀. Èmi kò ní kọ́ṣẹ́ fún ìyá mi mọ́, ìyá o. Now, many of us might think that it's an ordinary song. Ẹ rí i pé tí àwọn ìyá wa tí wọ́n bá ń pọn àwọn ọmọ wa ní kékeré tí wọ́n bá ń sunkún, tá a bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kọ àwọn orin yìí, àwọn ọmọ yẹn wọ́n máa dákẹ́. Kí ló fà á? Wọ́n connect mọ́ nature ni. Wọ́n gbọ́ ohùn ìyá wọn, wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé tí màmá bá ń bá mi sọ̀rọ̀, èmi náà gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́ràn. A ní ìyá ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn tó ń gbọ́ràn sí wa lẹ́nu, tí wọ́n ń ṣe tiwa, tó sì jẹ́ pé ní iwájú òun ni wọ́n máa ń wà. Ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá ti jẹ́ ti àwa ọmọ, ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá ti jẹ́ ti agbègbè, ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá ti jẹ́ yóò mú ìlọsíwájú bá wa, Ibe Latimba Mamawa. Her Excellency, the First Lady of Ogun State, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, will now address us and then flag off the official launch of the distribution of this Clean Cook initiative. A big round of applause for her, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy World Environmental Day to everyone that is here. I greet the new Ogun State Head of Service, Mr. Olarinwaju Saka, MNI, our Commissioner for Environment, who has put all this together. Thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Oladimeji Oresanya. The Chairman, Body of Permanent Secretaries, Mrs. Lydia Fajombo, as a point of courtesy to all permanent secretaries that are here. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Dr. Mrs. Kafayat Lawal. The State Chairman, National Environment Society, Mr. Jamiu Badmos. Director, Department of Climate Change, Federal Ministry of Environment, Dr. Inibong Abiola Awe, represented by Mrs. Dolapo John Ahigwe. The guest lecturer, Professor B.S. Bada, Mrs. Abeke Oloyede, as a point of courtesy to all the Iyalojas that are here present, management and staff of Ministry of Environment, all students of various secondary schools here present, and all other invited guests, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to join distinguished guests, policymakers, environmental experts, development partners, traditional rulers, women, youth, and all stakeholders gathered here today to commemorate the Ogun State celebration of World Environmental Day 2026. Although the global observance of World Environmental Day is marked annually on the 5th of June, Ogun State has chosen to commemorate this important event today in order to bring together a wider spectrum of stakeholders and reinforce our collective commitment to environmental sustainability, climate resilience, and a greener future for our people. This year's theme, Inspired by Nature, for climate, for our future, is both timely and profound. It reminds us that nature is not merely a resource to be exploited, but a partner to be protected. The forests that absorb carbon, the wetlands that regulate water systems, the trees that cool our communities, and the biodiversity that sustains life all provide invaluable lessons on resilience, adaptation, and sustainability. As climate change continues to manifest through rising temperatures, flooding, land degradation, biodiversity loss, and public health challenges, the need for decisive action has never been greater. I am particularly proud of the proactive measures being implemented by the Ogun State government under the leadership of His Excellency Prince Dr. Abiodun, CON, through the Ministry of Environment and its sister agencies. The state has continued to demonstrate leadership in environmental governance through improved waste management initiatives, environmental sanitation programs, climate adaptation interventions, tree planting campaigns, flood control projects, public environmental awareness campaigns, and the strengthening of environmental regulations and enforcement mechanisms. Mind you, we have heard all the requests that have been made prior to this morning. Our Iyalaja has asked for a restoration of environmental Saturdays, whereby people will be aware, fully aware, and they'll commit themselves to keeping their environment clean. And the young lady that spoke about planting more trees. She said we should speak less and plant more trees. We should be more proactive and speak less. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, one of the innovative approaches being promoted globally and increasingly embraced within our environmental sustainability framework is the development and utilization of refuse-derived fuel, RDF, into valuable energy resources. As Ogun State continues to industrialize, embracing innovations such as RDF will help us achieve the dual objectives of effective waste management and cleaner energy generation, while supporting sustainable economic growth. As always, I am delighted to participate in an initiative that directly touches the lives of women and families across our states. The distribution of clean cook stoves and liquefied petroleum gas, LPG cylinders, to women in Ogun State is a practical demonstration of our commitment to climate resilience, collaboration between the Federal Ministry of Environment and the Ogun State government, and I am honored to formally present them to beneficiaries today. Healthier, cleaner, and more efficient alternative. The benefits include significantly reducing harmful indoor air pollution, improve the health and well-being of women and children, reduce dependence on firewood and help conserve forests. They lower greenhouse gas emissions and contribute to climate action. For the women receiving these items today, I encourage you to become ambassadors of clean energy within your communities. Share your experiences, educate others, and help expand awareness of the benefits of adopting cleaner cooking technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, climate action cannot be the responsibility of government alone. It requires a whole of society approach involving communities, businesses, civil society organizations, educational institutions, faith-based organizations, and individual citizens. So as we celebrate World Environmental Day 2026, let us renew our resolve to protect our environment, preserve our natural heritage, and build a future that is cleaner, healthier, safer, and more prosperous for all. The choices we make today will determine the quality of life enjoyed by future generations. Let us therefore choose sustainability over wastefulness, conservation over degradation, innovation over complacency, and collective action over indifference. Together, inspired by nature, we can confront climate challenges and secure a brighter future for Ogun State and for Nigeria and for the world in its entirety. Thank you very much for your attention. God bless Ogun State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless us all. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn, àjọṣe gbogbo wa ni.
Another round of applause for Her Excellency, the Mother of the State. And Ma, we would respectfully ask that you help us with the formal launch and distribution of this Clean Cook Save initiative. We will invite the beneficiaries to be coming out. Please, the head of service, the Honorable Commissioners, Environment and Culture and Tourism, as well as the representative from the Federal Ministry of Environment, and of course, our SA, please would join in having. Oh yeah, our Tiavegba, Ejama Bonita Nikokon. ara oríire ìntàfi ń ṣe àǹfààní láti ọ̀dọ̀ ìjọba òun náà ni eléyìí. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ nǹkan kan fún ẹ dúró ṣe rí eléyìí tí màmá wa máa ṣe àwọn olóyìnbó ń pè ní symbolic presentation gbogbo ohun tó wà ń bí la máa pín lénìí ṣùgbọ́n a lè wá dá excellency dúró láti pín fún gbogbo wa torí ẹ̀ la ṣe máa ṣe symbolic presentation yìí ní ìkọ̀ọ̀kan àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ àǹfààní yẹn ó yá ẹ máa bá mi tò wá ní iwájú ń bóná wà ẹ máa bọ̀ ní kọ̀ọ̀kan ó yá ẹ gba excellency lọ́wọ́ kẹgbà ẹ wo ibi lẹ máa wò ibi lẹ máa wò ó yẹ ẹ gbà wọn lọ́wọ́ kẹ fọwọ́ kejì dìímú ẹ ti gbà tiyín nìyẹn congratulations ẹnì kejì congratulations ẹ wò wọ́n ya fọ́tò ẹyẹ máa jáde nú ẹ o ẹnì kẹta dà mẹ́wàá la fẹ́ pín tá bá ti pé mẹ́wàá ó ti tó àyà fọ́tò tá bá ti tí excellency bá ti lọ tán àwa máa pè wá ní ìkọ̀ọ̀kan ẹnì kẹrin ẹnì karùn-ún níbo àwọn ministry of environment ẹjẹ́ á dúró ti àwọn kìíní tó wà lẹ́yìn yìí o mi ìfẹ́ kẹ́nì kankan gbé kankan nú ẹ o ó ní iye tá a máa pín ẹnì keje ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ ti gbà gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ ti gbà ẹ lọ bá mi dúró lókè lọ́ọ̀ yẹn torí ẹ máa sáìn fún pé ẹ ti gbà ẹnì kankan ò ní gbà lẹ́ẹ̀mejì ẹ lọ dúró sókè yẹn tí ẹ sì dúró ná ó ti di mélòó báyìí tó ti gbà mo mọ ohun tí mò ń ṣe thank you very much okay let's cut it ẹjọ mọ́mì ẹjọ mọ́mì ẹjọ ma no we have the special need we need to yes we need to also capture them okay they will go back we need to capture okay ẹ ti wà níbí mọ́mì ó yá lẹ́yìn yìí ẹ̀yin tó kù ó yá ẹjọ torí ọlọ́run ẹjọ mo bẹ̀ yín ni mo bẹ̀ yín ẹjọ ẹ̀bẹ̀ ni mo bẹ̀ yín ẹjọ ẹ wo àwọn èèyàn wa àwọn olóyìnbó ń pè wọ́n ní special need láǹfààní ẹjọ torí ọlọ́run alẹ́ ni méjì nínú wọn báwo ni the special need will be here because of climate. Your Excellency, ma, please, ma. With the special needs, paparazzis, how do we cover this effectively? Mọ́mì, àwọn ìyálọ́jà mẹ́rin tó sọdà, àwọn dà, àwọn ìyálọ́jà mẹ́rin yẹn dà. Ení àbí?
Ìyálọ́jà Tọ́ṣì, àwọn ìyálọ́jà leader Abẹ́òkúta South.
Oya. Excellency. Ẹjọ́ nítorí ìtọ́lọ́run eléyìí a kàn fi ń ṣe àpèjúwe ni ẹ ṣe gbogbo àwa tó kù la máa gbà ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ jókòó gbogbo wa la máa gbà ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ jókòó gbogbo wa la máa gbà ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ jókòó ká lè ráyè ṣe. a ní ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ jókòó. So báwo la ṣe fẹ́ pín nísìn? A pè ìyá lọ́jà, wọ́n identify àwọn tá a máa pín láti ìyá lọ́jà, gbogbo wa àfẹ́ lọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ jókòó. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ jókòó. Ṣé bí Yorùbá là ń bára wa sọ yìí? Ó kù ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ jókòó, mẹ́rin ìyálọ́jà mẹ́rin lẹ́ni ká fún yín. Ẹ jẹ́ kó lọ jókòó ká lè ráyè ṣe ń ta fẹ́ ṣe yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ kó ẹ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ kán lọ jókòó, gbogbo nǹkan ló létò, gbogbo wọn náà sì máa gbà. Ìyálọ́jà ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ àtúgbọ́ sí wọn lẹ́nu. Mọ́mì àfẹ́ eléyìí ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ APC àbí kò ṣe eléyìí kì í ṣọ̀rọ̀ pátì. Ẹ má lọ jókòó ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ gbà yẹn, ẹ máa lọ sórí òkè ń bí ni torí ó ní ìwé tẹ́ máa fọwọ́ sí. Ó ní ìwé tẹ́ máa fọwọ́ sí. Please, the people with special needs, let's put them here. Our Excellency will come and take pictures with them here. The people with special needs, let them be here. They are going to face the audience. So let's place them very well. Let them face the audience. Those who are here with their crutches, please, we expect that you are here. Our Excellency will take pictures with them here. Please, let's clear this frontage now. Thank you very much. Ẹ sì jẹ́ kó rọra dúró sí ibẹ̀ yẹn náà. Tá bá ti ya àwòrán eléyìí, ẹ jẹ́ kó rọra dúró báyìí because ibi táwọn tó fẹ́ ya fọ́tò tó máa dúró sí nìyẹn. Thank you very much. Ẹ wo, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá lè gbé sókè díẹ̀ báyìí, ẹ gbé sókè kán bá lè rí ní tẹ́ ẹ gbà. Ẹ má jẹ́ ó bojú yín o. Ẹ má jẹ́ ó bojú.